Picking up a heavy, creepy vibe here.
You ever have the suspicion that you've been abducted by aliens?
Poltergeist is nothing more than a devil or a demon as far as we're concerned. People say, this guy's going back into the medieval ages. There are no such things as devils or demons. Yes, there are.
Putin 3-2, use 105 shells. Bring the rain.
I didn't like him anyway. He wasn't right in the head.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
That was some real John Wayne shit, Staff Sergeant.
You're listening to the Chaos Effect.
You are listening to the Chaos Effect.
And you're listening to the Chaos Effect. And you're listening to the Chaos Effect.
And you're listening to the Chaos Effect.
You're listening to the Chaos Effect.
You have chosen wisely.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Chaos Effect Live. I got my buddy Jay with me here. Could you do me a favor, guys, and put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us, because I'm doing this with the Yeti. As you can see, it's right there. So. One, sweet, you can hear us. All right. Well, you've been hearing me talk about Weird Maine Paranormal, all that good stuff. Bass is in the house, Marvin, MV, Truth, Bama, M, my cousin, everybody, that's family. But anyway, you've been hearing me talk about Weird Maine Paranormal, and you've probably seen and heard him in the 2 videos that we have up so far. This is Jay. He's co-founder, co-lead investigator. We go out and do that crazy stuff and try not to get, all attached and everything like that. So, hi. How you doing, huh?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, doing the best you can.
At least I made this one.
I know. This is his first live. I know the last one, I was a little rough on that one. Yeah. But that was somebody else's channel. That wasn't this channel. So this is the home channel.
In the ICU last
Yep. That was a rough day, but hey, it is what it is. You're here now, and that's all that matters.
I look at it this way. If I die, you can investigate me.
Yeah, we'll spirit box him.
Oh, I'll haunt you for sure.
So I had put a short up earlier in the week. Sorry, I meant to do one this morning. Kind of got, sidetracked with everything. Been a busy day, but I put a short up earlier in the week and said, hey, listen, if you guys could go down the comments, give us some ideas, maybe you can, help us out with, what we can talk about tonight, what we can do. And a little bit later, we'll actually fire up the spirit box again, because one of the things that was put into the comments, I believe by Bama, was, has anything ever followed you back? Well, as you know, from last week, we had some good spirit activity at my place. Well, now we're here at Jay's house. And there's been some, we actually have some pretty good footage of a couple of nights that I've come over, and we've had the spirit box running, and we actually had stuff running up and down the stairs. Over here,
lights
to our left, we had the dining room light was on. We walked into the living room. We came out to get coffee, not more than a couple minutes later, and all 3 of us, there was only 3 of us in the house because Sandy's over in the other room, and all 3 of us were in the living room. We came back out to get coffee, and the light was turned off. So there's been definitely some spirit activity going on here. So we'll get that going a little bit later in the week. We'll probably throw some stories out, that kind of thing. And, we're just going to kind of roll with it. We really don't have a set script.
Response to the questions. Like Obama with his, did anything follow you home? Like, oh, yeah.
So last week I started off with a story. So one of the questions that was in that short was, what was your scariest experience?
To meet you as well.
Yeah, she had. I do talk about you a lot.
Yeah,
I
usually am behind the scenes because I act up on, as you can tell.
He's going to act up tonight too, because we're going to have some fun. Because eventually, this is going to morph into us talking about our debauchery back in the day. So it's always fun.
There's still laws that apply.
But Bama, you had put a question in and said, "What was your scariest experience?" And have you ever seen a cryptid on an investigation? Well, I don't know if actual cryptid. We had something running around in the woods when we were in Lebanon at that church, that graveyard. But he actually had a cryptid investigation. I'm sorry, a cryptid experience back when we were younger. I have a side to that story, but it's very menial.
That answers
you know what I mean?
2 questions. That's what got me into this, researching that, because it scared the hell out of me. And like they say, once you find out something can exist or does exist, it opens up a whole lot of doors. And it did. And I spent a good 25, 30 years delved deep in the books and in everything, investigations.
You're talking about the werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Werewolf. Go ahead, take it away.
I guarantee you it's the same one they saw in Gray. If anybody's ever heard of that investigation.
Yeah.
That's the exact same one. I mean, I was walking home. Anybody's familiar with Sanford School Street? Kind of dimly lit. There wasn't many houses down my end, which is the South Sanford end. And we're walking, and car lights hit something that was kind of sitting in like a little opening in the woods. And my friend thought it was a bear. He's as good a friend as you, by the way. Jesse Owens. Huh?
Jesse, yep.
Yeah, Jesse Owens. That's you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We see something, this guy shit in tennis shoes. And
I don't run away. I can't run anymore. So I just stay there. Oh, I did that night. Yeah, we'll talk about that after. Never mind. Go ahead with the story.
He can't run. Yeah, okay. Get him stoned, put a big Hershey bar at the other end. He'll run. No. Yeah, exactly. That's the sound he made before he ran. Anyway, we're walking along.
Hold on a second. The answer to your question was, you remember when we used to live on Oak Ridge Road, down that area? As you're going down School Street toward Route 4 before you get to our development, it's that bend right before, kind of like that, what looked like a trailer park, but it really wasn't a trailer park because there were houses there. It was a little development. That spot. Sorry to interrupt. Go right ahead.
Not at all. It was just before that. In fact, the dark woods. It's now cut away and gone.
Yeah, I know, right?
There was a trail that led right from there to your development.
Yep, and there was a little quartz mine down there too.
Yep, and it was sitting at the opening of the woods, and by the time we realized what it was, Tim was gone. Tim Nason, the man that was with me, he was a speck in the distance, because I turned to him and said, "Hey, do you?" I guess you did, because he was gone. And we got to my house, and my mother was laughing at us because we told her what we saw, and then we heard it outside the window.
Well, yeah, but you were being chased, though.
Oh, yeah. It chased me. And I could hear the nails, like when your big dogs scraping nails on the tar. I heard that behind me as I'm running. And I swear to God, I felt the breath on my neck. But when I was doing research, that it was nowhere near a full moon that night. And as some of the research I did, some legends go, they're not completely wolfy until it's a full moon.
Right.
So maybe you're just trying to scare us off.
Well, there was a house when you were a paper boy you used to deliver to in my development, which literally the trail he talked about that went into my development went around the backside. And that was right there. What you had told me about that house when you were talking to that lady.
Right out of those woods.
Tell them. That was like.
Anyway, the next day we went back to the woods because we're super brilliant, all of us stoners. We went back there. Like, where you want to be, anywhere near where you saw the wolf man. And there was a guy laying in there on the ground. Like he'd been there for hours, hair all messed up, leaves and pine needles all stuck all over him. He saw us and hightailed it. And I think he lived in that house with that old lady.
Yeah, well, because wasn't it when you were talking to her, she kind of did this thing and turned and looked back at the house, and
the curtains kind of did the thing, All you were missing was the afternoon special music to it. Yeah.
Now,
and your screamy thing there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that we were talking about this one night when you lived over on North Ave in that building, and weren't we sitting in your living room? We were talking about it, and maybe like an hour later, there was something that came over the news that talked about somebody seeing a werewolf in a cemetery in Gray.
In Gray, it was on the TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did an artist conception of it on sitting on top of a gravestone in the moonlight in the cemetery. And they said the same thing, that it was nowhere near a full moon.
Yeah.
But they still saw it. And I said, well, Stephen King used the same legend in his book, Silver Bullet, Cycle of the Werewolf, which became Silver Bullet.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's weird. And here's the funny thing about that is that where he lived, you go right down the hill and then you go up the hill, and that's where my street was. I mean, that's how close we were. Like, you cross the road where he saw, or where they saw this thing out in the woods, at the edge of the woods. There was a trail right there, and that used to lead all the way around behind to, like, because my development was shaped like a D. It was actually shaped like Lowe's Motor Speedway for any NASCAR fans there, but it was kind of shaped like a weird tri-oval D type of development. And that trail would lead right out in the back by that house we were just talking about. So my father had Speck. She was our German Shepherd. And every night before bed, he used to go and take her out for a walk. Well, this happened to be a Saturday night, so I was awake. So I went with him, and we walked Speck up the street. All the way up the street, we were hearing something track us in the woods. Classic cryptid behavior, I guess you could say, in a lot of ways. But this thing was coming right, it would go up. And the dog, now, this was a full-size German Shepherd. You remember Speck until she bit Stuart, and we had to, get rid of her, unfortunately.
Stuart.
Yeah, you remember Stuart? He used to live right next to George.
How about your paper boy?
Was it you?
Yeah.
No, was it you?
He swallowed up to here.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oops. He also bit Stewie, too. She wasn't
I don't give a shit about
it was
Stewie.
Chubby guy. He was nice. Rich. He thought he was better than us. And he wasn't. But anyway, as far as that goes, she was a pretty even-keeled dog, and she would defend family the whole 9 yards. She wasn't scared of nothing, but this made her nervous, and this happened a few times and whatnot. So when it comes down to it, it's like, seeing that, I instantly thought of that story. It was a good way to open it. So I forgot she bit you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm so alive. It was so good.
He's right here. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, so referencing what we were talking about earlier, I know Bass and Truth have seen this because they've seen a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff when I made that trailer for Echoes from the Afterlife that had that one there. Yeah. When we were at the wreck, that was one of those nights that was just plain weird because we had parked up at the street. Because sometimes, there's two ways into the wreck. You can park up at the parking lot on Main Street on 202, not 202, on 109. Yeah, 109. Or you can go down just a little bit on the same side, and there's like a dirt road that leads into the back side of the wreck, and you can park there. But sometimes they lock that gate at night, not wanting to be locked in, because I don't have a push bar on my vehicle, so I can't just, Duck, what's going on, man?
That is illegal.
Huh?
To break through gates and
it's a little illegal, but we live
by
Jesus, we live in Maine. We don't give a shit.
By Jesus, I guess you know.
Yes, I know. God, by Jesus, I guess I know.
Oh, son of a whore.
Oh, he's talking nice to me. He just fucking left. But
I didn't leave.
No, I know. Jeez. But he gets twitchy. He has to move around.
They understand.
So that one night that we went there, we came walking down the stairs and we walked across this big grass field. You'll see it when that episode of Echoes airs. There's a lot of daytime kind of tracking shots that shows you what it looks like.
Did you leave in the two people on the beach?
I'm working on that. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, it was a really weird night. So what I wanted to do, because a week before that, Bubba and I, my oldest boy, had ended up going down there, and we started to do some
Bubba. Did you tell him we're from Maine or Kentucky?
By Jesus, his name is
You're talking like
Shotgun
that, your
Bubba.
son's name is
his name
Bubba.
is okay. I have two sons named Noah. One is Henry, one is Bubba. He likes to be called Bubba. There's no prison connotations with it.
Just wondering.
Anyway, we're starting off great.
I think everybody left already. So
no, we got 10 people in here. That's more than last week's stream.
Wow,
nice. I'm more entertaining when I have somebody else to talk to, I guess. But whatever. Anyway, they're saying I'm boring. But anyway, we come walking across that this big grass field by horseshoe pits, all that stuff, and we're approaching where there's like a play area on down by that play area. There's a building which is a set of bathrooms, and there's a set of stairs that actually goes down to a beach area where you can actually swim in a very wide part of the Mousom River. And there's a safe part, but if you go out too further than that, there's kind of a strong current, so they got buoys up and ropes. They don't recommend that because there's been a lot of bad stuff and drownings that has happened in that area. Well, and I'm not trying. Business. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good business for us, I guess, as bad as that might sound. But about 2 weeks before, Noah and I went down to that beach to do some. Oh, thanks, buddy. Went down to that beach to do some spirit boxing. There were a couple of younger teenage boys that had drowned there. And I'm not trying to be like a night crawler, okay, and try to go and capitalize off of tragedy and all that stuff. But the thing with me is that when I read the two articles,
chaser.
I don't chase ambulances, although I do have a police car now, so I can do that stuff until they look at my plates. And but
look at this, you got the whole June.
I did look at this stuff. You know that I straightened my beard for you people tonight. I hope you appreciate that because I almost burnt my damn face off with my beard straightener. And a beard straightener is like a hair straightener for your face.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the thing is that when I read those two articles that they had written about this event, these two boys were from Jamaica. And as I remember well, try to remember well anyway, and they were very strong swimmers. I mean, this was one of those things like we have a very low crime rate in this area. I mean, I think somebody gets stabbed or shot once every 10 or 15 years, man. You know what I mean? Even with the influx of new people from out of town, it's still actually pretty relatively safe. People get into fights, but who doesn't nowadays? You know what I mean? Or any time for that matter. We are Gen X, so we used to do that stuff a lot. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to see if I could connect with them. So we were down there on the beach for about 20 minutes, and we had gotten a lot of good stuff. And I looked at Bubby and I said, "Hey, let's take a walk down to the to the Leap." And he's like, "Okay." We probably got about a quarter of the way down that trail. It's pitch black down there. I mean, there's no lights at all, walking down a wooden trail, and it's a bit creepy. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we grew up walking in the woods at night on trails, but this place, there's something else about it because there's so much energy around that place. I mean, it's got its own energy and its own vibe from the Mousom River, the things that have gone on down there. And I think because of history, some other things that have happened and still lurking around.
The Indians' last leap is right there.
Exactly. And on either side, there are two massive cemeteries. So you've got all of this kind of mishmash. It's kind of like a paranormal ambrosia, I guess the best way to kind of put it in there. We got about a quarter of the way down that trail, and Bubby started getting nervous. He's like, "Can you hear that?" I'm like, "Hear what?" He's like, "Shh, listen." And very, very, very faintly, dude, I don't know. It could have been somebody out in the woods playing bongo drums. This is Sanford, okay? There are some weird folks out there. You're looking at two of them, but it sounded like it was like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, very faintly hear it. I mean, dude, I checked the microphones on the camera setup. I checked my heartbeat don't beat like that, but I also checked the digital recorder and it didn't come up. So it's like, believe what you want to believe, I guess. But he got scared. I'm like, all right, let's go. We left. Well, a week later, I'm telling Jay and Sandy about this. I'm like, let's go down there and start this, investigation. So we go down there. The vibe is really weird. Like the minute we got to the bottom of these stairs, we kicked on the spirit box. And I don't normally do that until I hit the play area. And instantly starts boom, boom, boom responses.
Wasn't that the night the play area extended to the beach because you had those two people?
Yeah. So I wanted to go to the beach and take a few spare boxings because this guy, we can get it. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but he's special when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but
say first you said I was something else, then you said I was special. So.
okay.
Weird. Now,
But anyway, Jumanji, yeah, it was weird, Marvin. I'm not gonna lie, but so I didn't notice it at first. Okay, he noticed it at first. We get to the top of the stairs and we start going down. Now
I just looked down.
They're onto the side of the beach, which if you were walking down the stairs would be on your right. There's a wooden deck, and there's like a wooden outbuilding, which is kind of like a storage building type of thing. I've never seen inside of it. There are two people on there, bulky, bare ass naked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were going to town. Like, they didn't even notice us, and we started giggling like school kids. I was like, oh, I'm a 49-year-old man, dude. And I'm just
I'm trying to behave myself,
you know what I mean?
Because this is going to go on the site, and I ruin stuff by being a clown.
But we unfortunately didn't get any of it on camera.
No.
You know what I mean? It would have made a great highlight reel.
Yeah.
But
10 points for Gryffindor.
We go running back up the stairs, and I'm like, well, I guess we could just go to the to the leap. So we start at the trailhead, and we got maybe 20 feet in, and we start going, and everything, because I mean, down in that area, you've got crickets, you've got woodland nighttime sounds. The crickets are pretty loud down there. The cicadas.
Neither.
Dude, it was dead silent. We start now.
Usually when the crickets are silent, anybody who lives where there's a lot of crickets,
not a good thing.
Something is there. If they don't go silent unless other than you, they were already silent. So something else was already there.
We start hearing like a popping and whistling noise, and it sounded like a bird. Now, I'm not gonna say that birds don't chirp at night. I'm very sure they do. I've just never heard it, and I used to live in the woods, all right, in South Sanford. So we're hearing that, and it sounds like it's all around us, and then we're hearing a scraping sound, and I could not for the life of me figure out what was going on. One of you guys said, is it above us? And that's when I looked up, and I've got the big flashlight up there, and we're looking. I don't see anything. Now, this guy walks to the side of the trail, and he stops, and he's looking up. Right in front of him, about 20 feet away, there's like an incline. I don't know the degree of the incline, but there's an incline, and then there's a trail up there and a lot of big trees. Next thing you know, we hear this like, it was almost like a rushing sound, like basically something very heavy and large came out of the tree. So because this guy goes, something's coming, and that's when the spirit box goes. What did it say? I cannot remember. But it said respect. Yeah, something like that. It said a couple of things, and this thing comes out of the trail and goes boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden, Sandy goes, ah, and starts running. I start running. Because when this guy says something's coming, we better go, I started running. I'm like, what am I running from? Dude, there are big tree roots and rocks on this part of the trail. And I am so lucky I'm so lucky I didn't eat shit. I didn't realize he wasn't behind us. We took off like a couple of fucking Usain Bolt, man. We were like Bruce Jenner back when he was really fast. And dude,
he's aerodynamic now.
He is aerodynamic, kind of, but yeah, still, it's just, oh my gosh, dude. You know what's funny, Marvin? I thought it might have been Bigfoot. I don't know. I mean,
he can be in the trees, I would imagine.
Well,
I'm sorry. If there's any cryptid hunters in here, please. Well, your information is helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had talked to a couple of people about that. I originally thought Bigfoot, but the funny thing is that
the reason I said something was coming was because it was right above me.
Yeah.
The rustling was it jumping from tree to tree.
Yeah. And then it hit a big cluster of trees up on that ridge right there in front of us.
Something's coming.
So I talked to a couple of people. The biggest thing for me is that you heard that popping and that whistling, you know what I mean? Chirping. The weird thing about that was that there were no growls, there were no hoots, there were none of that
Just
stuff.
The whistling.
Yeah, exactly. And then this thing comes out of the tree. Now, granted, it could have been like a 600 or 700 pound homeless dude that was like Kung Fu Panda. It was like a ninja.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But it certainly wasn't Jack Black up there. I can tell you that much. So
could have been the other guy.
I was probably a couple of weeks after that, maybe about a month after that. I had popped on to Truth and Bass's live stream. They invited me up because I told them, hey, listen, I had some weird stuff go on. I'd like to talk to you guys about it. So it's like, well, come on the stream. And Roth was in the chat. So I had asked him, hey, could you kind of, because he's like our resident remote spirit viewer, man, this dude, to me, he's legit. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
So Jay knows about Roth. I've shown him some of the text conversations that we've had. He's been pretty good. He really helped me out with Haunted Sanford. Oh, yeah, dude. Very talented kid. Even though he's in his 30s, to me, he's a kid. So aside from that, he had said that it wasn't Bigfoot. It was kind of hairy, patchy. It had a weird face. I had talked to a couple of people, and the funny thing is that both of them said could have been a Wendigo. And I'm like, well, it's not cold down here. And I'm like, I thought Wendigos were like cannibalistic spirits. He's like, well, they are in certain areas, but in other areas, they could be used as a defensive spirit. He goes, I'm not really sure exactly what it was.
Canada, that is their Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well, Bigfoot's also in Canada too.
Yeah, but that's what they call it. They're confused on that one.
Yeah.
Unless
for
them, that's what it is.
I think they call it Sasquatch. I don't know. But aside from all that, that's the weird thing. I did run on that one. It was a weird night, man. We had that stuff go on. Normally, when I go to investigation, I am armed. And no, I don't have ghost stopping freedom seeds. But the thing is that I just wear it. It makes me feel better. Well, because there's certain things you can't say on YouTube or they'll kill the stream. Or they'll unalive the stream.
Hillary Clinton, that motherfucker.
Oh God, she's horrible. Yeah, Bill, he's a really nice guy. But what's that? That sounded more like John than it did anything else.
Scott, that was not Bill Clinton.
John. Oh my gosh, Wendigo, normal near a reservation. You're right about that. But here's the weird thing. I've been doing, and I don't know if she's watching in the chat. We got 10 people in the chat. I don't know if all of you are commenting, but there's a lady whom I had gotten some stories from. I'm waiting on more stories from her. She had actually given us some really good places we could go investigate this coming season now, or the season that's here now. And it's not that far away from us. Yeah, exactly. Well, if I could get her to answer my fucking text messages, dude. I sent 5 of them.
I know. I want some indoor investigations coming.
But anyway, aside from that, she had what was I going with? Where was I going with?
What's a new one?
That's a new one. Which one? What do you mean, Bams?
Yeah.
But
that's what I was wondering.
Anyway,
I missed that one.
She had that's right. I was doing some research on the King Philip's War, which I talked about in last week's stream. And she said the majority of the fighting was kind of like, down in her area, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, that type of thing. Ghost freedom shells. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you like that? Freedom seeds. Yeah, they're Stephen King silver. Anyway.
Oh, you can't say those words.
Well, I don't know if you can or not, but this is only my actual second live stream and doing this every week, so we're trying to. Let's not offend. You're not going to offend anybody in this chat.
No, trust me.
You know what I mean? But
I'm good at. If there was.
I just don't want any,
me.
green-haired somebody watching the stream right now. They're like,
careful, just because they have green hair, dude. Don't be all.
I got love for you, baby. So
it depends on what the green hair is.
Yeah, I guess so.
And if it's natural.
But it's not necessarily, if you haven't noticed, it's not necessarily a Maine thing, but show them. There it is.
I had to.
I know you're not.
Don't you blame me. Not easily offended. I'm not offended. Unless someone messes with my kids.
Exactly.
All my friends.
So, where's I going? Oh yeah. I'm starting to look into the fact that maybe there were some turbulence between settlers and natives in our area. Like probably every part of New England, all the way down from here to Rhode Island.
Any other part of the world.
Canada, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Exactly. And, Indian's Last Leap has a certain story to it, which I don't know that I'm going to get into that tonight, because I was talking to somebody on recently, about a week ago, and they had given me a new spin on this story. So I kind of want to do
5 different versions.
I want to do some research on that. They was actually saying it was Littleton's last leap. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Or it was actually a settler that jumped off the leap instead of a native. So I kind of want to look into that and kind of get the story right as far as that goes.
I don't see how either one of them died. I fell off that thing.
Well, some people have. There's some rocks under the water.
I know.
Yeah.
I missed the water.
You died 3 times. something like that.
I guess.
It's crazy. So speaking of that, that's a good segue. How about letting the good folks in the chat know and those that are watching kind of where you're coming from, like, you know, kind of like a little bit of your background as far as like, you know, why you are so connected with the spirit world.
No idea why I am, but I am. I can only say that maybe from when I was 4, I was stabbed with a screwdriver through here and had a rough childhood, right into the brain. Should have died. Did, apparently.
Yeah.
And then came back. Then again at 14, got hit by a car.
Oh, you got hit by a Dodge Power Wagon, dude, and flew across Main Street into the grass there. That's not just a car.
I've had a discussion about that with like 7 people telling me about it, saying the other kid died. You should have seen it. He was dead. He was dead for sure. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, but what did you see?
Oh, what? It's different.
When you were.
It's different though. The first time, nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing. You can see you, but that's it. Yeah. I could see me, but that's it. Everything was black, below, above, the sides.
Weren't there spirits around you?
That was the second time.
That was in. Oh, okay.
When
That
I got
was
hit by the power wagon,
okay. That's the one. Yeah.
I remember looking down at my own self, but not knowing I was looking down at my own self, kind of like a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing the scene happening, and then I look at not everybody was the same though. There was people wearing old clothes, new clothes, you know, recent within a few years, not recent within a lot of years. But they were some black and white, some in color.
Right.
That's the weird part. And the color was drifting off of the ones that were in color.
Yeah.
Like something was eating away.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
That's the part I didn't get.
Now, do you think it's because that happening that kind of gave you a tether to the other side?
Maybe.
You know
Maybe
what I mean?
I'm still kind of connected. Then the third time, I had the massive seizure.
Is that my house?
The first one.
The first one, okay.
Yeah. They were currently, what do they call it when they calling it?
Yeah.
And pulling the breathing tube out of my chest. And I sat up and grabbed the lady's arm who was doing it. And if I remember correctly, she shit directly on my lap.
What?
You know, she was so scared.
Oh, God.
Her face. I've seen white, but that was white.
Oh, man.
She went white. I scared her out of the last 15 years of her life, I think.
She probably still has nightmares.
Scared her
about
so
that
bad her
shit
kids
now.
at home died in their sleep.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Yeah, she was scared.
Oh, goodness me.
I had no clue. I just, went to sleep, woke up.
Yeah. So you can sense this stuff. Like when we go into an area, you can sense it immediately.
Sometimes. It's more like a bad feeling. When I get the bad feeling, I leave. Because the bad feeling, something bad usually happens.
Yeah.
It's never good.
Oh.
In any experience with the Ouija board, I don't touch them.
Yeah. Well, you have a psychic circle, though.
That's different.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah. And just to let you know, we're going to be playing with them for the camera later on.
I have a couple of old school,
maybe
witch tools that I found. We're going to use. We have the pendulum.
Yeah. So I would say, you guys have that pendulum.
We have the pendulum. We have the psychic circle. Be interesting to see what you can conjure up using the old methods.
So you remember last year when we ceased investigations because it was getting too cold for the winter? That last place that we went over on, just forget about it. Forget about it.
Over here.
That little cemetery that was up off of School Street, next to Dracula's house.
Yeah.
Now that's the Sweat House.
Yeah, Sweatmoran. That's it. It's Sweatmoran Cemetery.
Yeah. Well, they're restoring that right now.
The Sweatmorans and Cemetery. That is theirs. That's their family cemetery.
Yeah.
That's why it's that nice legal distance away from the house and nicely fenced in.
Yeah.
Not like stones like this and that 3 feet from the barn.
Yeah.
We found another colonial on the way to Biddeford.
Yep.
In the back roads.
Oh, okay.
You could reach out the window of their bedroom window and touch the stones. That's how close it is to the house.
Oh, God.
And the house is original.
Damn.
Which means they would just stepped outside and buried them first chance they got.
It's a little lazy, isn't it?
I don't know. It could have been the winter.
Yeah, true that. It's hard enough to do anything in the winter.
Especially back then with a shovel and a pickaxe.
Hot, hit that like button, everybody. Yeah, I'd like a couple of likes. He needs a couple likes.
If you don't, I don't need anything. I just need people, you're interested, watch it. If you don't want to hit a like button, don't. I forget to do it myself, and I like a lot of videos. I know you want them to hit the like button.
No, I'm just saying hit the like button. He likes it. And he goes, I don't need one. Don't do it.
I'm here for the hunting.
Yeah, true that.
This is just for you.
Well, I'm pretty sure we got a concurrent 10 people watching, which was better than all by myself last week.
So 10 people. You're the only
know a
person
couple.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I don't remember where I was going with that.
You usually don't. I've heard you say it like 12 times.
Probably, yeah.
Just go on. It's working.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I don't talk, because I'll be on 40 different directions trying to go from this to that.
Oh, man.
That's why we got to segment it so I can. I have so much stuff I've read and experienced.
What's funny is when we did Lebanon, we did the Second Baptist Church in Lebanon, and we were filming. We actually got it on film, which I'm sure, maybe most of you, the fog coming in and out of the woods and all that stuff. I mean, it was a warm night. It hadn't rained in a while.
That's
and I don't think that
there were here followed me from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get into that in a moment, definitely. But as far as something cryptid, I don't know, but there was something big and heavy that was popping and crackling in the woods right across the street as that fog was coming in and out. I wondered if it was that like supposed red-eyed monster, but when we popped the flashlight up into the woods, there was no eye shine at all. Could have been somebody in there going,
makes me nervous when
they
say there's Native American burial ground in an area. You're getting fog and big crackling sounds in the woods.
Yeah. Well,
and then the fog that comes out into the open and it goes all the way back in all by itself like a fog tentacle. It's like, all right, see, now that's when it starts to get,
I mean, I don't know. I still think I got a faith thing going on at the house, because I was looking for stuff earlier today and I could not find it, and I was bitching, and Renee had to come out.
Have you all seen some of the videos with the fairies and the little gnome things that are getting real popular now? Some of them are in potato graphic videos, so I don't think they're fake.
But
wow, some really compelling stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This one guy with his bird feeder, his hummingbird feeder.
Oh, yeah.
That little shit was literally right there at his bird feeder. It moves the feeder. It lands on it, grabs it. It swings back and forth. You can see it.
Well, we've been out in the woods on some investigations, and we've seen what looks like, fairy fortresses, fey fortresses. People will put little painted houses out. People will do that around here, and put little painted houses out in the woods for them to go to. There's a guy that I know, Matt, who lives over in Shapley, and his wife is part of the Stanley Road Stanleys, and there's right up behind their house on the hill. There's a burial ground up there, and it's really, really old. Like, it doesn't even have stones, man. It's just got rocks formations in there. And one of the things that you get out of that is that when you come across stuff that's rock formations, it's either native or it's fey. Either way, I'm stupid enough to go up that hill and check it out. I'm just waiting until he lets me do it. He won't go to that one. I don't blame him, though. You know what I mean?
If that's Native American, I ain't going near it.
Yeah, because he is Native American. He knows this stuff.
Yeah, I know. You don't mess with that stuff. Even if you're not Native American, don't mess with their burial grounds.
Yeah, well, I don't want to mess with it. I just kind of want to turn near it or on it.
Leave it the hell alone. You do you, Bubba.
Well,
my brother.
Yeah,
I love you, but don't come to me when something fucks up.
I probably won't, because I'm a big chicken when it comes to some stuff. You know what I mean?
These folks will tell you.
Yeah,
I don't have
exactly.
To. They'll tell you.
Don't
mess around with it.
Especially if Yahola's in the chat, he will be like, "Don't do it." You know what I mean? He will yell at me. Speaking of, what have you and Sandy kind of? Oh, hold on, that's just virus and threat protection.
I was gonna say you got the computer herpes.
A walker. Do you mean like Walking Dead walker? Because it's funny you say that. I was watching The Walking Dead last night.
A walker. No, I think he means Skinwalker.
Oh, it's funny. I don't think
Burn Tobacco and Ass Commission.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one. I smoke a lot, as you can see. So does he. So we're always burning tobacco.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he means.
Well, I mean, it's the closest thing I got. Smokes are expensive, you know what I mean? But What do you think followed you back from that place? Have you and Sandy figured out what was going on?
No, because it only hacks up when, like, Kane will go to school.
Yeah.
And leave, and I'm usually the only one here because I work the days, she works the evenings, and it's like he's still here upstairs.
Yeah.
You know how teenagers
walking around?
Teenagers walk like their feet weigh 67 pounds each, and it's literally walking right across the floor. I didn't even know he left. She texts me and tells me he's on his way to Berwick for a soccer game, and I'm like, well, he's late because he's still in his room. I went up there. There's nobody up there.
You know what's funny is that night that we had the spirit talker going, and we had the camera in the living room. We were just hanging out because you had said that some funny stuff was going on, so we got that going, and we started talking. And the spirit talker just started hammering, fired right up.
Yeah, immediately.
And there was something that was going up the basement stairs, down the basement stairs, and we could hear it. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't scare me because I'm whatever. Live forever.
It does hide itself pretty good when it wants to, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't find it. Use any meter and you can't.
Has it turned on any more lights, or was it just that one?
The hallway one.
The hallway. So it likes the
upstairs.
hallway. The one.
That same one. I've checked the bulb. I took it apart. I messed with the switch. Messed with the fuse. It's not. I've tried like 8 different kinds of light bulbs.
Wow.
Brightness, even cleaned the inside of the turn the power off and use a Q-tip and some alcohol, clean the little connections. Everything's clean.
Wow.
It's perfect.
That's wild.
Blew dry it out to make sure it was super dry. And still does it. So
that's pretty
It's
crazy.
got to be a faulty wire in the wall somewhere, or I try to debunk my own stuff. I can't quite figure that one.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. It'll decide to turn the light on now. I don't know that you'd be able to see it from here because it's over that way, dark area, but we got a light on right above us. So
this is the only light.
South of me and one to the west of me and one to the north of me. I live in, it kind of sound, well, okay.
What's above and to the west and the east? Burial grounds?
Yeah. Duck is one of these people that
surrounded by them.
I talked to him
Ruptured
outside.
Duck. I know you from somewhere else.
He's been in the live stream in the live streams I used to be in and whatever ones I do.
Something else.
He's all over YouTube
I know,
and Facebook.
I know, but I frequent one of the same things.
He sent me a story.
We frequent the same cemetery.
Yeah.
Savage. No, the cemeteries are all over the place up there.
Yeah, all around him.
Damn.
And the funny thing is
do you
that
have a ley line map by any chance of that area?
I mean,
to see which the cemeteries are buried, are on them.
From what he's told me in the stories he sent me, he lives. Basically, he does live at Spook Central. Like he's learned to live with them. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But they play hell with his brother, which he's told me a few funny stories about that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, as long as they're messing with somebody else, that's funny as hell.
But it makes me wonder. I mean, I know there are some creators that don't like to go down that road, but it makes me wonder how much of this supposed paranormal, experience that we've had that has something to do with the Fae or has something to do with the extraterrestrials or interdimensional. I mean, I think in a way it's all connected. I haven't figured
That's
it
why
out,
you have to. That's why I try not to get talking in these because I'll go 50 different ways, give all the different theories that all go to the one thing. I'd read every theory, every theory just to say I can't say I don't believe you without reading the offering first.
Right. We'll go 50 different directions.
I do
because that's why the folks are here.
Yeah. But that's why I was wondering with the cemetery, Ruptured Duck. Do you have, if we could get a hold of a map of the area, match it up to like ley lines?
Yeah, I could get him off, like through Messenger. I could get him to kind of give me an idea
just to see
of the area
where
and Google
those
Map
cemeteries fall on any of those lines. Like maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying any particular formation, but on the lines,
right?
Because that'll give you all kinds of problems.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Depending on what you call for problems. I mean, if you're good with that kind of stuff, then
good possibility. What do you want to fire up the spirit box? We'll keep talking and see what this thing has to say. Yeah,
it doesn't.
You guys good with the spirit talker? Even if you ain't, I'm doing it.
It says some stupid shit.
Could you reach behind me and grab that rack right there? That metal thing sitting next to my backpack.
Oh, not too many times I get offered to grab someone's rack.
Yeah. This is my phone rack. This is what I used to do in the chaos effects that are recorded. That
what
some
the hell
of them
do you
are
have
up on the channel. I put it
Your
right there.
landline?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I put it in here and I put it on speakerphone and put it right next to the mic.
Oh.
And it's like I had it made perfect size. Look at that shit. Isn't that great?
Perfect
You can't even see it on there. So that works out pretty good. I kind of can't type now in the chat because I'm like, grr. So, try to answer as best I can.
Well thought out.
You like that? Oh, I don't know how many of you have you ever heard of the Randonautica app?
Mm-hmm.
I got Randonautica in my phone, and one night,
I have the
Renee,
same app.
yeah, you do. Sweet. I want to do some Randonautica stuff one night, probably for some. Remember it too close when you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, tell that to my fiance.
All right, spirits. We get the spirit talker going, and I know you know what this app is and what it does. So feel free to join in the conversation.
If you don't shut it off when you're done, be like her and leave it next to the couch pillow. And I think the couch pillow is calling me names.
So, oh yeah, I didn't get it. Me and my son were walking the dogs a month ago, and he saw something in the sky, and it dissolved. We looked at each other and asked, "Did you see that?" You know, it's funny.
Marvin, have you seen?
I'm from the 1900s.
They say that all the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen the report of how many UFOs coming out of the ocean the government has been monitoring in the last month? Hundreds.
It's getting
literally hundreds. They can't even ignore it anymore.
Yeah.
I pay attention to that stuff too. I do like the UFOs.
Some of these nights,
wow, sound like I'm Jewish. I like the UFOs.
Yeah.
You like the UFOs over here? All
Oy
right.
vey. Yeah.
Oy vey.
Yeah. Don't be a schmuck. Yeah. That's all I got. I don't know a whole lot of chutzpah.
Bitch. Call me a schmuck. It's all right.
It's gonna happen to me after this live stream is done. It's gonna be like,
yeah. She wants one of those goats that screams like that.
Yeah, well,
I would eat that thing.
I don't know what that means.
The goat, I'll eat. He screams and I'll eat it. Shut the hell up.
God, I can't even handle when the puppy decides he wants to start barking and has the zoomies in the house. I'm like, shut up! And he's like, right? No. He barks at me more. Oh,
he's a
God.
puppy.
I know, right? Crazy. History? What history would you like, spirits? His history? We already talked about that.
Well, I just get done saying they're from the 1900s. I think they pretty much seen a lot of it.
Yeah, I imagine. Probably. You know what was funny is that whenever he comes to the house, the resident spirits that I have there amp right up, especially Alice. I've talked about Alice before on other live streams.
One from upstairs?
Yeah, that was crazy.
It almost killed me.
Oh, dude, that was nuts. So me and Jaden had to save your life because you're so skinny and you're going to slip right through the freaking stairs. Of course, the stair length, it's one of those old houses and the stairs are like that wide. And there's like a gap in between each stair about that big. So you fall right through it. Almost did anyway. Oh, that was crazy. And I'm taking using a K2 meter and just going around the house in one certain spot in the house where there weren't any wires running that we knew of. It was just going off.
I'm in my 30s.
You're in your 30s?
Not anymore.
Well, maybe as you are now, Spirit, but you probably were considerably older. I haven't been working 33, so I haven't seen anything else like we walked about. Like
heard the whistle a few times.
The whistle? What whistle are you talking about, Marvin?
Is this from the stuff in the sky?
Yeah. If you could elaborate a little bit on that, I'd like to know.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because
or maybe you might have to. You might have said something before, and I just don't remember.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, I forget stuff.
For me, especially.
You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. What are some good Maine things? Like dark things around here. You know what I mean? Like
Portland is full. Well, hold on, I actually have I've got a whole list.
Before you get on that, what was that place in Alfred? That house in Alfred? I think they demolished
the Aiken's house.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Oh, geez.
Anywhere.
The Aiken's house. No.
Yeah.
Dude.
Tell me.
The lady who owned it, she couldn't even bring a blender in the house. Everything had to stay. I mean, she was old, so she's used to cooking on the fire and pumping her well water and all that stuff. So no big deal. But somebody got her something for Christmas, a friend, and it was a blender. She didn't have electricity, but still, she brought it home and opened it in the house, and that house slapped the crap out of her. Here she is, 92. She had bandages everywhere. We went to paint her house to give her an estimate.
Right.
And her son said that's what happens every time she brings something in the house.
Now, is that like family?
It's a
that
family
lives there, yeah?
Yeah, it was all family that's ever lived there.
Wow.
It's like,
yeah, you were outside that place. And
I stepped in
like
the driveway and almost puked right there.
Wow.
That's how overwhelmed I was with the feeling. I wouldn't even go in to this day, still haven't.
Wow.
Can't do it.
Crazy. You know, there's something that I wanted to bring
whistle
up.
that a Bigfoot does. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
See, I thought
you.
that's what he was talking about, but then he said what him and his
son.
Oh,
the whistle we were talking about.
Yeah,
I got you.
I got
confused.
I thought it was still the UFO.
And he also, heard the whistle a few times. So
it's weird, though. It's like a vibrating with a couple of noises in between.
It likes to hurt people.
What likes to hurt people? Bigfoot? Some of them.
I don't think they're talking about the Bigfoot.
Sometimes they get into the
they're
conversation.
Not talking about something here.
Yeah, like I hope not, because that's not cool, and we won't stand for that poo-poo. So, not at all. You know what's funny is that there's also a lot of researchers out there, and a few people that I've talked to that will say that Bigfoot will try to mimic other animals. Like, you know, if you
I've heard that.
If you happen to hear like what sounds like a 1,200-pound owl,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Who? I'm glad
I
you're
hear an
enjoying
owl
this.
go, oh, I'm definitely gonna run. Freaking owl up there on roids.
Well, where I work over at ABP, it's down by the Syro River, so it's all heavily wooded over there. It's weird. It's a heavily wooded area that is right in the middle of an urban area. If you look at the map of Sanford and Alfred and like the surrounding areas, kind of take a wide thing, you'll see where these like thick patches of woods will kind of weave their way through this town, and the town's becoming more and more urban. I mean, we've seen they're starting up so much construction
all at once.
To like
cutting
really
huge areas.
You know what I mean? So some of those places are going away, but there's just as many of them, if not more of them, going on. So
just up in Berwick and all of them still have a lot of heavily wooded areas.
Mary. Hi, Mary. But that's the funny thing. The reason why I say that is because there's been a few times where I've been working overtime on a Friday night. And like I did this past Friday night, but we only stayed till 1, only a couple of hours after. But there's been nights where we've stayed till either 5, 6, or 7 o'clock in the morning, go out back behind the place or go out on the side of the building and have a cigarette or something like that. And, you know, there are a lot of foxes around the area, so you hear them screaming all over the place. But there's been a few times where I've heard what sounds like 1,000-pound fox go, ah, rah. And I'm like, that's not a fucking
probably some
fox,
homeless tent city out there.
Maybe
trying to scare you away.
Well, that's why I want to get one of those Aztec death whistles.
Hey, Marvin, have you or your sons smelled any of the rotten eggs type smell that people usually say accompanies your Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Or cryptid, whatever you saw?
Marvin, if I'm remembering correctly, Marvin's had quite a few experiences.
We've never had the smell either. Yeah. Even with the one at the wreck in the tree, they no smell.
Yeah. That might not have been a Bigfoot, though.
But
it could. I don't know what it was.
Cryptid, yes, but Bigfoot, I don't know, because we've never come across one that had that terrible smell or any kind of.
And that's what gets me with that is because when Roth looked in on that,
sir.
When Roth looked in on that, he's like, I don't know what the heck that thing was. I've never seen anything like that before. And that made me a little nervous because this dude does this all the freaking time. Well, you're not trapped here. You can go anytime you like, even though this isn't my house. But, you know, you can't go with me.
I didn't trap you here.
All right? You can't go with me.
Before.
I'm just saying. Spirit of my dad is at my house. He'll beat the shit out of you. I'm just saying. Because he was a Sasquatch himself.
He was a fairly portly fellow. Yes, he was.
And he knew my Jay knew my dad. That dude was the hairiest guy. Like, he was bald, but like when he used to like to mow the lawn in the middle of the summer without a shirt on, but it still looked like he was wearing a sweater.
I know. Who the hell mows the lawn with a cardigan on? God.
Almost fell over. Every time I would say that, he'd hang up on me. But me one time, my dad once, my son heard the whistle 3 times. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. If I remember right, one of the things I'd like to do, I can't do it tonight. But like one of these nights to take the StreamYard link from a certain. You matter. Well, thanks. You matter too. I appreciate you. I'd like to, because the Yeti that I'm using has a jack on the bottom of it. Balance. That's what we're looking for. Balance in the Force. 100%. Balance you must have. But we can hook a pair of headphones up into this. I actually have a I have a splitter that will go into the back of this and come out to 2 sets of headphones. He could wear one, I could wear one. And that way, if we invite somebody into the chat for you guys to tell us your stories,
that'd be great.
We'd be able to hear you and talk back with you.
That'd
so
be awesome.
I forgot all
then
that
we
stuff.
can share.
So.
We could notes without you guys having to type.
Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible for y'all's carpal tunnel.
And I mean, I look at it like this. It's kind of a popular thing now where a lot of fellow YouTubers that do this kind of thing on the live stream will have people call in, you know what I mean, or come in with a StreamYard link and tell us your stories, and we'll kind of unpack it and talk about it. I want to get with that too, because I know that I have, a very eclectic bunch of folks, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You guys are all awesome. Always. See, even the spirit box agrees with us, the spirits. But the thing with that is that you guys, a lot of you, I gotta say, dude, it personally, because I know a lot of these guys from a former YouTube channel that I used to be in, being in Truth's live streams, being in Yahola's live streams.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a really knowledgeable, cool bunch of people that have had all these experiences and all this stuff right here. So
I'd like
to have you guys
hear
call
some
in,
of their stuff too.
That would be awesome. That'd be fun. Because I mean, we got lots of stories, but I can't always remember them. You know what I mean?
It's nice to have a focus.
Yeah.
Like these people, like Marvin and his son and his father.
Yeah, exactly. And to have you guys come up, that would be great.
I can share some of the other things I've interviewed people and match up some of the stuff.
Right. So this is what I want to know. Last week, and I won't spend too much time on this because I don't want to be one of those people, but I'm going to be. I had talked to the way to go about it now for membership is like PayPal links. Okay, that's great. So this is what I thought of. And from what I understand, a few people told me.
Still want to hear it.
I think that doing live ghost hunts.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah. My mind is an open book.
If my mind opens anymore, it's going to fall on the counter.
Exactly. And that would be gross. Okay.
Sorry.
Back to the old ways. Love it. Yeah. I mean, if somebody, it's all goat sounds.
It's all goats.
I just used the screen.
I thought you had an applause one on there.
No, I don't. I got like.
There you go. Are you dating again? Jesus.
I hope she's not watching. She will slap you. She will shoot you in the face with a bazooka.
Oh, sorry.
She don't watch my stuff. She don't.
Like me. Am I getting?
No, you're getting laughs. Oh, dude.
See, he told you he's going to be investigating me because she's going to kill me.
Let me finish. But anyway, I'm still trying to figure that out because Patreon locals, that's a pain in the ass to do that. So I'm trying to figure out a way. I don't want to do the YouTube membership. I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm trying to figure out a way for, kind of like backdoor type of things that we can go out to places. But so what happened? So what about those questions? Oh, yeah. All right. I'm trying to remember. How did we get started doing this? Like, what was our first experience?
I told you mine was the.
I guess you have questions. I hope you heard that. It's right there. You know what I mean?
It's all you.
But yeah. So what got you? Your
first was the cryptid experience with the werewolf.
So you were like 14 at that time.
Yeah, that's
that
where
was
I
kind
started.
of older.
I mean, I've been all over the place now.
No kidding.
I've got books I've read. So many.
So that counts.
It just keeps sending you off in new directions. That's why it's so hard to focus unless it's one. What the other question was?
Well, I could tell you guys. 7. I don't know what 7 means. 7 deadly sins. Not here.
No.
The ghost in Memer's attic. Oh yeah. Okay. That was M. Yeah, that was actually my first experience. So
it's Marvin showing down there.
That looks like a laughy face.
Ah,
like a creeper laughy face. I love me some Minecraft.
Frankenstein.
All right, so
oh,
my grandmother
bangs back with him.
Well, for me, it was Grammy and Grandpa, but for M, my cousin, it was Meme Pepe. That's just how they did it. That was my Aunt Lisa. She wanted to be different.
I'm okay.
You know what I mean? Hi, Auntie, if you're watching.
I wasn't judging you, Slick.
Anniversary? That's weird. But anyway, and Jeff, if you're watching too. But anyway, yeah, there was my grandmother and grandfather had had bought an apartment building on School Street here in town. You were Uncle Ryan too. I was Uncle because we're so far apart in age. You know what I mean? Like I was in my teens and she was just a little girl,
okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But so she always called me Uncle Ryan. That's, you know, rock and roll. But it's good to have an uncle, you know. But anyway, I'm trying to think now. I get sidetracked.
Converted Uncle Teddy. Everybody needs one.
Just like Uncle Nino.
Uncle
Nino by
Uncle Nino.
Don't. He likes it. Don't let him kid you.
Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I should have just said bullets then, right?
Fucking guy. Stream is still on. Anyway, my grandmother and grandfather used to live on a house on Church Street. Well, they actually kind of just moved down the road and they had bought like a building on School Street where it had two apartments in it, one on the bottom, one on the top. And my grandmother and grandfather lived on the bottom apartment. And my Uncle Kendall and Aunt Lisa, which is Emily's mom and dad, lived in the top of the apartment. So I don't know. This was back. I was like, you're here. They're talking to you guys about that. The spirits really don't like us that much, but they're delighted you guys are here. And I'm delighted you guys are here too. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Answer the goddamn question.
Sorry. I am long-winded.
Hey, you heard, Mom.
I want one of them, please.
You need to keep him happy. It's
a good thing that YouTube allows tobacco because TikTok does not. Anyway, poor Truth, man. I feel bad for him. But anyway.
Oh, is he quitting?
No, he's not quitting, but they keep striking his TikTok videos because they say he's talking about ghosts and they say you have alcohol and tobacco in there. He's like, I don't.
No.
But anyway, my uncle and I on Friday nights, you had this kind of like ritual. And what we would do is we would go down to the local Hannaford supermarket. Back then, I believe it was called Stop and Shop.
Shop and Save.
Shop and Save. That's what it was. Shop and Save. Now, when you walk in the door, one of the doors now, you walk in, you've got the automatic registers right there, you know, ones you could do yourself. And over here, this direction, there's like a pharmacy, a huge like health and beauty medicine section, shampoo, all that stuff. Back in the day when I was 8 and 9 years old, it was a video rental place. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
So him and I would go and pick one or two of the cheapest Thompson. It wasn't a Thompson, but the cheapest B-rated horror movies that we could find, the goriest. Maybe we could find something to make us funny. It was the first time I saw movies in one of those movies. Anyway, I thought it was funny. But anyway,
movies is
over the course of doing this for however long, I would always hear walking above us. The attic was above us. This is like 10:30, 11:30 at night. I looked at my uncle and I said, figure with Dad. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. So the short of it was, I asked him, like, do you think that's Grandpa? He's like, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Your grandfather's probably passed out on the couch after watching Doctor Who. That's not him walking up there.
Doctor Who.
I loved it, man. Tom Baker. Yeah. Doctor's wallet watch. O Dominus probiscus e pluribus unum.
Yeah, Dominus possum fact probiscus postmortem et tu protein gorilla camerundum. You half Baptist, half Catholic.
I can't remember all that, so I just,
Right.
E pluribus unum. But
that's on a penny.
Right. Where in Maine are you guys at? I live in Albany. That's kind of Thomas Wick. Are you related to John? Actually, Tom, we are in Sanford. So that's
Yeah,
where we
we're
are.
like southern.
I would say,
Maine-ish.
yeah, that's kind of far away, ain't it? That's up
Albion?
there.
Well,
Yeah.
compared to where we are.
Is that central Maine? I hope so.
No.
No, Sandy's healing. I wonder if that's she's healing.
She's healing. Yeah.
But yeah, Waterville area. Oh, okay. All right. So
not
kind of
super far up.
yeah,
there.
a couple
Sounds
hours.
like it is.
Yeah, a couple
when
hours.
When
I've
you
been
hear
to
a name
Waterville.
like Albion, you're thinking Presque Isle.
That's close to Augusta.
Yeah, you're thinking
Yeah.
like Presque Isle with a
Yep.
H up there, you know.
But anyway,
they roll the sidewalks up at 7 p.m.
We went up to the attic, flashlight, and
this story's taken a
yeah, I know. Passed the flashlight around, and I don't know if he saw anything. Demonic. But no, it was not demonic. His name was Harvey. But anyway, in the back corner of there was a shadow back there. It was like a shadow person. Godfrey. All right, have a good night, Marvin. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Marvin away.
I didn't mean to. Well, it's 11:30 at night almost, so our time.
14 miles from Waterville.
Yeah. Heretic's Fork. I don't know what Heretic's Fork is. Maybe if you guys do, I don't know.
A Heretic's Fork?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a place or a thing.
It's never mind. Just go on.
Anyway, the short of it was that
show.
I had been intrigued about what I saw. So, I was still young, 8, 9 years old. She will touch you. She can touch me if she wants. Not in a bad way.
Damn.
Never mind. So
boobies again.
I know it's so. I used to take my Matchbox cars and I would go up to the attic because Grandpa did not like that. Did not want me up there. But yeah, so I kept going up there and would have occurrences with the spirit that was up in that, up in that that attic. It was never a bad thing. It was kind of like having your own Casper the Friendly Ghost type of thing. And I named him Harvey because I don't know if that was his name, but that was just the name that popped into my head one day, type of thing. So
me not to haunt you, end up with a moniker like Harvey.
Maybe that was his name.
Could have been.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able. I'm not able to get
spirits we run into. Names that just like wow.
And
Hezbollah. Remember Hezbollah and some of the
where were we?
That was
when
in
we did
Lebanon.
That was in Lebanon. Okay, yeah, some really old names, dude. There was one of those things like there were shadows moving around in front of us and behind us. There was a shadow that was poking its head up from one of the stones that was close to us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was William because that was right behind his stone. I wonder if that was him.
What about Adam?
Could have been Adam too. There was a Cyrus as well.
Yeah, that
The
Adam,
6-year-old?
that Adam
Was
one. That Adam one is the one that plain out told us one right after the other. In no certain terms. I died here. My ashes are here. There is life after death.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the things it said. That's pretty good communication.
Her first ghost was Giselle. Yeah. I actually recorded.
Giselle Cody?
Yeah.
I was in school with her.
So what the story behind that was and the reason why I'm going back and doing like another, redo of Haunted Sanford.
That one makes me nervous.
Yeah. Well, was because talking to Em, having a conversation with her, 3 years ago, you were telling me, you said this happened, that her and some people down a little bit further on North Ave were actually channeling her. And we had gone down find your ashes. I don't know. There aren't any ashes here, are there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I haven't been under the house yet.
But the thing was that her, Emily, Jeff, myself, and Oakley went down into those trails and we started talking and we thought that she might have come through. Here's the crazy thing. Realm. Here's the crazy thing. I got a recent, it was probably about a month ago. I just happened to notice it just the other day that somebody had commented on Haunted Sanford.
Speaking of Ames, the store. What you said? She didn't mom because of Ames.
Yeah, the store. Because Giselle used to go in there.
I know, so did
Aunt Lisa and my mom worked there at one time.
My mother did too.
Have you ever guys explored the old mill in Vassalboro?
No, are we allowed in? If we
can we get in there?
If we can get in there, we will go there, my friend.
Yeah. I'm gonna. No, she said drop some acid. Okay, I don't see that on there, but I don't doubt it. I'm hiding. You're hiding? So am I.
Thank God. Drops of acid. Who said that?
I think That might have been what they thought they heard on the spirit box or something like that. I don't know.
I'll find my ashes. Yeah,
find my
ashes.
find
I
my
like
ashes.
that one.
Yeah, I
better.
like actually that
I
would
like
be some
drops
fun.
of
Yeah.
acid better.
But yeah, there was somebody that had commented on Haunted Sanford that said that his ex's sister-in-law or cousin, no, not sister-in-law, ex's cousin had died in those woods, and that they kind of cut her heart out and ate it. I don't think that was done.
Giselle?
I'm trying to think. No, it was somebody different. I think he was, because I never heard about any of that happening.
Nothing like that happened to her.
But this could have been somebody
her
else.
grave is still on the trail behind the houses near the Ambets.
Yeah.
That indentation is still there.
Oh, that's where
they planned on burying her.
Wow, I thought it was by the river. Oh, he just hid her by the river.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
That's where they planned on burying her, but it didn't work out.
We're going to go find that and see if we can spirit box that.
She wasn't there.
Well, I mean, like the dark. I like the dark, yeah. Don't we all?
You're sure they would let you if you asked permission?
I'm sure they would let you ask permission. You guys have a legit YouTube channel, plus you guys are local. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Vassalboro's not that far away, is it?
We're actually taking a trip to a haunted hotel, her and I. Just to
I remember you saying.
Yeah,
mentioned
we're gonna
that.
go there. We're gonna bring some of the equipment and see.
Yeah,
what
dude.
we can pick up.
If you want to bring the Rebel and some
bring all
stuff,
that.
yeah,
we'll put that on later.
Nice.
I would definitely get a hold of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Because I'll be able to keep this. And I'll keep
What's
the
story?
chat.
Is there a story?
So
it's good to have some feedback. If you
definitely.
If you're right there, please meet us there.
Or if you actually, if this place had a name, then I could probably look it up and do some research on my end. Whatever you got, buddy, when you get a chance, go ahead and email me. You can find it in every description. I'm still working on doing an easier email with an easier name, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. Maybe I'll try tomorrow. I get tomorrow off, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you to every single serviceman and woman that, Memorial Day, this is for you guys, dude. It's for you guys. And I appreciate you felt her presence the other day. Oh, maybe because we're talking about her and working on it. Can I have one of them?
Invocation, yeah.
What are they?
We're going to the Tilton Hotel in Tilton, New Hampshire.
Really? I've heard of that place. Ooh, Tilton Hotel is going to be devilish. Maybe they'll let me hide under the bed. No, I don't want to go there.
What are you talking about? You can snuggle right up to me. Pumpkin.
I'm getting in the middle.
Ooh, Ryan sandwich.
Floorboards. What is under the freaking floorboards? I'll email you guys the info. Would love to go along with you guys. You know what? We could do a meetup. That would be
for
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, baby.
I'm gonna get one. That's not a whole
the
lot.
back room
That's a few
again.
sugar.
Huh.
I filled in the back room again. The back room in your apartment?
She lived near there?
She lives down over Mill Street, off of Mill Street. I don't want to say the exact name, but one of the little places off by Irving.
That's good. That's good.
So, but not that far away from here, actually.
Then I met from where she was. To have manifest her that far away.
Yes, where we were sitting. Oh, in the living room. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, the back. Wow, really? Maybe it's because we did the interview. We were talking about her. That kind of brought the energy up. But then again, she made contact with you originally, so she's got a connection to you in some way. It'd probably be easier for her to do that. Maybe I'd like to go there with like the stuff and the camera and the spirit box and the psychic circle, because I'd like to ask her.
Thomas Wick gets our info.
In every single video that we do,
connected.
Not the live streams, but if you just go to the regular videos, my email is right in there. Just make sure you watch the spelling, because I'm the ding dong who spelled it wrong. You'll see what I mean. I forgot the N. So it's mysterious nocturum at gmail.com.
Rectum.
No,
What about your rectum?
She is connected. Yeah, that's what I would figure. If you're feeling her presence again and
Tom.
bringing her up,
Definitely.
Yes, definitely, Tom. I would love to hear from you.
I would definitely.
Maybe if you want, you and I can exchange numbers and we can have a conversation. That's totally
any backstory? Would love it.
Nothing is my mom brought a guy with curly hair home and with her, and he was there the other day. Are you talking? They've upset you? I hope not. Are you talking about a guy with curly hair? Are you talking about a spirit or an actual guy? Because I don't know if Uncle Kendall would like that too much. So I'm assuming you mean spirit, but wow. Yeah, speaking of, when can we come over and do the house? I'm going to put spirit. Okay, I'm going to put you on blast. 4 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Wild. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Nice. So yeah,
Very good.
we'd like to come over. It'd be myself, Jason, and Sandy, because she doesn't want to be on camera.
I'm alone, so whenever.
Little does she know she's on camera in the videos. We're not going to tell her though. So I'm home alone. So LOL. So whenever. I'm not coming over now, but yeah, okay, I'll get a hold of you.
She said whenever.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm home alone. Where's Jeff?
I'm home alone.
Mom and dad are out too.
Really?
You got the whole place to yourself?
I'm kidding him. That's a joke.
Well, we're related, so it's really
Hi,
weird.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, hello. She is the lady I was telling you about, the lonely writer. Hello, Vanessa. I'm glad that you found it in.
Nice to meet you.
I didn't know they were camping this weekend, and they didn't invite me.
Well, that's bullshit.
I am such a joy to be around. I am nothing like my you-know-who. So.
You're talking about me?
No, I'm talking about my mom.
I know.
My mom, she's.
Oh God, no!
I love her, but
I know your mom.
She's a scary hobbit.
I love your dad, but your mom.
My dad, God, I miss that guy every single friggin' day. He's floating around the house.
Obama's still hanging around. I thought maybe he took off too.
Yeah.
Do we answer all the questions? Because
I
answered.
I know it is
the first.
What? Vanessa? We're just having a Maine summer. That's all it is.
What's the spring sprung right over us?
Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian. It's supposed to be 71 tomorrow, so we're gonna try to get
freezing in Waterboro. Yeah, well, it's not much better here either.
No, we're not that far away from it. Probably about 30-40 minutes. So, nice. You know what's funny?
Okay, now the questions. I answered the first experience, and if anything followed me home,
I'd have to look in my phone to get into that short and look in the comments. Well, Bama, if you're still there, if you can remember some of the questions you asked that we didn't hit, that would be super helpful.
I answered
because
at least 3 of them.
I can't remember.
I don't know if there was a 4th one topic. I didn't really remember.
There was a few of them.
I'm more than happy to discuss everyone.
Vanessa had also talked about like deep, dark places in Maine, places that we've gone. You know, there's actually another place. We're not quite done. We're done with the church in Waterboro because we've done evil. I hope not.
Animal Stone.
We've done like 3 or 4 investigations there. Explore the tunnels.
You guys
the tunnels in the mills.
The tunnels. Oh, can we still get to them? Because Fred owns the one end and the other end is burnt down. I know I could get a.
They sealed that one off too, because I've walked around that fence and I think they sealed that entrance off. No, you don't think so? It's still there.
I know there's ways to get down there.
Yeah.
But is it safe?
Yeah, that's the thing. Those mills are pretty old.
The Barrens, yeah.
They are actually going to start. We've got a company coming in to start rebuilding the mills and make them safe again because they want to put businesses and apartments in. They've already done one. They want to do the rest of them.
So we got to get in there beforehand.
Thank you. There's a place here in town. Oh, sweet. He sent a photo of the things. There you go. Thanks, buddy. That spot I took you, it was really dark when we got there. Spot you took me. Oh, you talking about on the trail down when we were talking
apartments? Good idea. I know how to get in there, Vanessa. It's just because I've been in those tunnels when I was a teenager. We used to work. I used to go in those tunnels and run remnants from one building to the other. The leather for the shoe shop, they stored it in the other mill. Animal Stone, right? Come on.
Animal Stone. I'm trying to remember. Animal Stone. It wasn't down in those trails, was it?
Shaped like
that day that me, you, and Jeff went? Tell them I'm trying to remember the Animal Stone.
You make her mad, dude.
I know she's getting mad. I'm surprised she didn't put it like several exclamation points.
If I see a middle finger emoji, you are on your own.
Yeah, I know, right? It was written on the stone. Oh yeah, that was in the trails down behind like the town garage. That end, that walking trail in there that leads over into Pike Woods. It actually is Pike Woods, as we call it.
Pretty much Pike Woods. Pike's Trail.
Yeah, it said evil. It did. We got by that stone. The animal was written in spray paint, and there was like a little trail entrance. I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like the funny, stupid person that I am. Well, it was crazy because, you know, when the four of us were down there, we had gone to the two cement slabs there, and I was using Spirit Talker, and I also used Margaret. Hi, Margaret. We also used Ghost Tube Vox down there, and we got a lot of good stuff.
There was an altar there.
There was a worship thing there. I think there was, as I remember. We can go down there. I know the part where she's talking about. Altar? Yeah, I believe there was, or remnants of one anyway.
An altar is an altar.
That's the thing, is that the one thing I want to know is that comment on Haunted Sanford led me to believe that there was another person that this group had gotten a hold of and went down there, because from what that guy was saying, unless it was one of those urban legend kind of things where it was like the telephone game where, you know, oh, I heard this and I heard this and I heard this. All right, buddy, don't worry. We'll be here for a little while longer, man.
Oh yeah, feed the kitties.
He's smart because he lives in Spook Central, but he's got cats, and that's the best thing you can
thing to have.
Well, it was funny. It's, you know, talking about.
I still can't pet the owl.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, it was like
I don't
like
care if there's a ghost or not. If that owl's
like that one night I walk out. It's like 3:00 in the morning, and I go light a cigarette at work because I'm working overtime. It was last summer, and I hear the foxes, because anybody who lives in the woods knows what they have that fox scream, even though it was a horrible impersonation. And I'm standing out there, and it's lighted button. Take that first big drag, and then I hear rah, and I'm like, nope. I put that out. Fucking went back into the building.
In my neighborhood just went. Really?
Well, it was funny because I remember I was heart, dude. We were just talking about that shit.
No.
But yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that was a telephone game or that was another person they were talking about that just didn't make the news. He said it was on a current affair. It made it all over the country. So I'm assuming they meant Giselle. You know what I mean? But that was one of those things. Hold on. What are you looking for?
Issues is that they are horrifying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you go on the channel, I don't know, Vanessa, you're kind of like new to my channel. You know what I mean? I've been on other channels. I was connected with another YouTuber for like 6 years. We did live streams every Thursday or Saturday night, sometimes both. She is, really? I did not know that. I'm gonna have to go back down there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down. That's St. Ignatius Cemetery. Yep. I know right where they are. Yep.
My father's buried there.
I went down there actually one time. I've got it on video. Where I think I connected with the spirit of my grandmother, because it was about a year after she had passed, and Oakley and I had gone down there in the daytime because we were filming to do, like, we're gonna have an Echoes where we do big cemeteries and all that stuff, daytime and nighttime. I found her and my grandfather, and I was like, hey guys, it's me. And do you live in an active house? Yes. Yeah, I do. I do as well.
That's where we are right now. This thing won't shut
we're
up.
at his house. Last week, if you go back to last week's stream, I had the spirit box running while I was, doing the first, Chaos Effect live that I'd done in a long time.
He posted some links about it, so we can check those out.
Awesome, thank you. Sweet. I really appreciate that.
When we decide to go,
they hide the truth.
They hide the truth. Now we're getting into some stuff because the spirits are starting to comment on this stuff, which is really wild. Oh, there's my phone right there. But that's the crazy thing, man. I'm assuming that person who commented meant her, and that I think that might have been a telephone game type of thing. We don't know all the stories. We don't know everything about it, but we're still digging. But as far as the mills go, getting into, like, I was talking to actually the owner of a business that's in that mill called Friendly Fire, and it's a cannabis business. And there's actually like 5 cannabis businesses in there. Thank you. You are generous for talking with us and talking with our friends here in the chat. Bubba, hi, buddy. It's Bubby.
Hey.
So what's going on, dude?
Is that the guy who keeps pooping in the back seat, or is that the other one?
No, that was him. That was him.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I got 2 gassy children. That's the older one.
Yeah.
Do you ever get scratched by a ghostie? I've never gotten scratched. But there was we were down. You remember
the touch in the back of the hair thing? Ooh,
yeah.
I hate that.
Yep, that happened in Lebanon. Oakley got his jacket pinched, not him, but his jacket was pinched.
Caught on nothing.
Yeah, caught on nothing when we were talking when when Nicole and Sandy were talking to
I
that
saw
spirit
that.
of that 6-year-old boy.
His
You
jacket
literally,
on something.
Jay
There was
happened to
nothing
look,
there.
and the shoulder of his jacket, you literally saw it do this, and there was nothing pulling it. And he's like, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna do it.
He'll tell.
I will. Oakley and I were doing in the Gowan Cemetery on River Street, right by the house.
On the back of the hair.
In the Gowan Cemetery. That's the one we went to where we saw the shadow of the extra head.
Remember
the leaves were
how
turning.
I did that?
Oh yeah.
The boys, the kids are standing there doing their thing, and I looking at the shadows on the wall. There's Ryan. Then there's Bubby standing behind Ryan. So there was one shadow for two people.
Yep.
Then
Henry was over here.
Henry's shadow.
Yeah.
And then two more shadows.
Yeah. There's one of the shadows of the head was right.
And I said, hey, how many shadows are there supposed to be? And he goes, 4? And I go, how many are there?
And
7.
we both look. Henry does this number. He's looking and he turns. He's like, no.
7 shadows.
That was the last investigation he went on with us. No, actually, he came across the street with us.
Oh yeah.
Here's the cool thing. So this lady that I had been talking to, she I guess apparently she's the new director of the Sanford Springvale Historical Society. I do have a question. Do you think that once you pass from this world that your spirit energy pass on to another dimension? Let me get to that real quick. I just want to finish that, but I got something for you because I just saw something on that the other day.
Thomas, from my experiences, having passed 3 times, and I literally had that in my medical history, I saw 2 different things in the 3 times. First time, nothing. If that's another dimension, there's just nothing there. But you. And if there's other people there, I saw no one. And then the other time, it was here still, but out of sync with everybody who was alive. Everybody was dead, was already there with me. So that's another dimension.
He scares people.
Sometimes he does.
I do. I'm scary.
Well,
how about you?
Alice,
what's your belief, Tom?
But I actually just saw something on that.
Do you believe that there's another dimension, or do you believe we just stay here?
From what the thing I had watched said, that you just become being in the consciousness. You know what I mean? Like it's like anywhere, everywhere, all at once.
I think if you
sorry, Em, I'll get to that. Hold on.
I'm sorry. If you do go, I think you can just go wherever you need to be. Your energy. What's stopping you?
So when I found Meme and Grammy and Grandpa Stone, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. What? What do you mean, Bubba? I had showed up there. I said, "Hey Graham, hey Gramps, I miss you guys. I love you." And 1 year came over the spirit box, and I'm like, that's right, because it had been pretty much about a year since she had passed away. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, I haven't come down and visited. And then Stupid came over the spirit box. I'm like, okay, you got me. I'm there. After that, the spirit box kind of quieted down. There were a few responses, but it didn't seem like it was anything that was coming from her because it didn't really ring any bells. I do have to go back and watch it, and it will be posted later when we do like a big cemetery segment. There's going to be a few episodes. No, please, I'm not going to leave. You go if you don't want to. Yeah, exactly. That is so her. Anybody who knew her would say the same thing. You know what I mean? So let's see. I can relate. Yeah. Well, there was, I've Buzzy showed up. My dad has showed up a few times. In the last stream, we had I had the spirit box going like this, and what came over it, where are my ashes? And it kind of stopped me for a second because I was like, well, they're right up there above my head on that shelf that's above my desk. So, that's pretty crazy. But you know what I mean? Yes. Yep. My dad has showed up a few times. Silent. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but please elaborate, spirits. So, you all right?
Yeah,
sure.
It was medication time. Do I want a hug? No.
Oh, good.
Don't touch me.
I don't want to hug you. Nope. But yeah, my dad has showed up a couple times. Nice to see you online. Looking forward to seeing your upcoming material. Hope to chat again soon. Hey, yeah, I would love to talk to you again soon, Vanessa. If you want some of these times, shoot me an
I believe
email.
our souls pass on to a different new dimension, a different world.
If you want to exchange phone numbers so we can have a conversation, and I'm going to go back to previous emails, and I'm going to write down the places that where you lived close to us and see if we can get into those houses. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to kind of try to do a PayPal is because some places will charge you to get in and do an investigation.
Yeah, that's what we've got to try to get that done.
I'm waiting back to hear from Friendly Fire because they've had a lot of stuff go on in the mill. That place in the mill I was just talking to you about. They've had a lot of stuff go on, and I actually talked to one of the owners, and she's got to talk to her husband, and hopefully I hear from them soon. That would be really cool. So to get in there.
Thomas believes dimensional. He like
different
travel
world,
to different dimensions
through the universe. That makes sense.
I would like to see where we progress to.
That makes sense.
You should definitely do our house.
Like creepy when they're gone. We're definitely. You know what? How about I'll get at you this week. How about maybe next weekend, if you're not doing anything, maybe a Saturday, because it would be cool to have Aunt Lisa and Uncle Kendall there. Because the last time I was there hanging out, I threw the spirit box on, and Aunt Lisa and Uncle Kendall were totally into it. You know what I mean, as far as that goes. So,
all right.
So we'll see what happens, just to make sure it's okay with them. You know what I mean? I know they're cool and everything like that, but bringing this guy along with me, Sandy will probably be there too. You know what I mean? They'll be, you know what I mean? Just I don't think they'll have a problem because this guy's cool. It's kind of cooler than me a little bit. Yeah, little. So but you kind of look like George Clooney in the camera. You do.
Extinction. That's what you want to hear, right?
Jeez, is that the name of the new Jurassic Park movie?
No, it's Rebirth.
Yeah, I know.
Just the opposite.
I'm just being
Extinction
difficult.
would be what it was before they made the first Jurassic Park movie.
Yep, definitely. I'll be in Connecticut, but the weekend after I have a REM
thanks so much.
Can use Jordan.
I would.
Jay, you are welcome.
Okay,
sweet. Well, just you know what? Make sure you let me know a few days in advance so I don't forget, because sometimes I do. I'm going to keep it on the brain, but just make sure you let me know. We'll set up a time, which
just
is
so
good.
YouTube knows I don't drink. So
these are sparkling water.
Yeah, because I can't drink.
These are really yummy. Dude.
Yeah, they are.
They're fantastic. I'm going to get some.
They're very good.
Nice.
Even the grapefruit's good. They have blood orange, lemon.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
This is my favorite.
Not a paid sponsorship, but they're
not
really
at all.
tasty.
They are good.
It's your age, obviously, forgetting. Yeah, you're right about that.
Beside.
What do you mean?
And others' experience because of your connection to near death is you can sense a trapped soul. Next dimension may be near your death. Now that sounds right to me. I mean, that's totally valid. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Well, there was
a couple different theories. One person said that I only brought half of me back with me and half of something else.
Really?
Because I get memories of buildings I've never been in.
Maybe a past life thing?
Not mine, that I know of anyway. But I've been through a lot of old houses, and I'll be riding by them, and I'm like, I get flashes of what it looks like on the inside. I'd be like, that can't be right. I've never been in there before.
Ralph.
That's wild. Hi, Ralph. That's wild.
He's 18 years older than you?
I am.
Oh, my
God. So I guess I was a later teen when she was born. Holy cow. That's wild.
Apparently.
Damn.
And I'm even older than him.
Only by a little bit. A few years. Not that much. So.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Well, there's a lot of things that I kind of want to explore.
What about you, Bama? You're quiet.
I know.
What's your experience?
Are you driving, Bubba? Are you driving? Because he is a driver, I believe.
No, Bubba. Bama.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
I call everybody Bubba.
Oh, okay.
But you might be driving.
32. God, I got shoes as old as
cow. I'm gonna be 50 in November.
I'm kidding.
No,
50? Oh, never mind. I'm nowhere as near as old as him then.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm only 22.
Yeah, he's a youngin'. Well, we've been here for a while, so yeah, definitely.
Will you stay a while? I live here.
Well, he does. Yeah, me? No, I don't.
What's Bama got going on? Anything? I ain't heard a story from Bama.
I'll say he might be driving. You never know.
Oh, don't be talking and driving. He knows better.
No, I'm not calling you.
Better not be calling me Bubba. No. We
No,
call you Boomer.
I don't have any.
He said you're
other
flatulent, so we'll call you Boomer.
I don't have any other than an outing I did.
Yeah,
You
you
did
said
an
that
outing?
one outing. I've been waiting to hear what that outing was.
It might be a lot to type. That might be one of those things.
You know what? Leave it. Send it in a story and a link. That's totally cool. Email.
Yeah, either that when we do like say maybe on the next one I'll bring a couple of sets of headphones and we can actually have Bama come up.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
And
I'd
talk.
like to hear from anybody.
That'd be cool. You know,
I'm much better one-on-one. Off on vacay. I don't have any other than that outing. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, that's all right. That's all good. Yeah.
That's perfectly all right. Enjoy your vacay.
Man,
I hope it's someplace nice.
We've done a lot of stuff now that I think about it. A lot of stuff. I
We are
don't
related.
remember.
We are related.
We are related.
Oh my goodness.
Which one of us and who? Wow. No idea what caused it.
No idea what caused
Was it like in a house in the woods or
if it was
something like that?
If it was in the woods.
I mean, you and I talked, so I don't remember if you told me this or not before, you know?
Probably.
But
miracles are good.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet, so
what was I gonna say?
I can
I'm
listen
trying
to an interview, she says. Out in the woods. Oh yeah,
Okay,
see
we'll have
that's
to
when
listen
you
to-
hear
Oh yeah,
loud
that's right. I got
ass-
that recorded. I got like
loud noises
Yeah.
in the woods.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we might have an idea. Hey, there he is. There's the guy.
There he is.
Please go right.
Please go right.
How far? My right.
Yeah.
My other right? My left. I hope the kitties are happy.
Oh, okay. I see what you got, Bama. I see. I read the top of the thing. So okay, I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll fill you in later on that.
Oh, please
Okay.
do. Please do. I'd like to hear it. Maybe is our distant.
You know what's
cousin.
weird is that the I had another question before I go.
Please
ask. Go for it. Type that right up.
Come on, Vanessa. Lay it on me.
I'm just really happy y'all have come in, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
It
two.
just-
Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, definitely there'll be maybe two. Ask as many questions as you want. Ask as many questions. It's all good. Yeah. But man, I'm trying to remember all the places we went. You know what I mean?
Cannon.
I mean, there was the as a matter of fact, you know what's one
Dude,
place
two have a crazy.
You know what's one
experiences.
place I think we really
More.
need to go? You remember, and I know you guys do, because I know I've had plenty of views. I know all you guys have watched this, but the first Echoes. How long have you lived in Sanford? I wanted to know about the land where Smitty Cinema is and Job Lot.
Smitty Cinnamon Job Lot used to be a field as far back as I can remember. Remember how it went? It was just an inclined of grassy field.
Yeah.
The road beside it has been there for a long time. No, not as occupied as it is now. It was just a field. There was nothing there but a barn.
I think I vaguely remember that. Was it red?
A big ratty old
Okay.
barn as far back as I can remember.
Yeah.
And other than that, before that, I couldn't tell you. So I'm guessing either the crossing, it was a farm across the street at one time, because that's how they usually built them.
You've gotten,
I would say
farmland. So, wow, that's wild. You and your daughter have gotten some important information from the Spirit Talker about this area. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm just
Because we're
saying,
locals. We've been here our whole lives.
It
so
was
born
all
and
I know
raised.
is as far back as I can remember, Vanessa, it had a barn sitting on it before they turned it into a shopping center.
It came over mom. Maybe it meant grandmom.
Theater 4 is reported to be haunted.
Wow, really?
I'll ask around. I know people that frequent it.
If you get a chance to email me, I would love to know what the Spirit Talker said to you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That would be cool because that would give me a chance to
So
hit
far,
up the Historical Society.
No reports
Yeah.
so far about it. All I know is it was farmland.
Really? No kidding.
Oh, nice.
At Smitty's.
Angry ghosts.
You know, I could see that. They might be angry because they get that big, beautiful, loud, shiny arcade in there now. And the movies and the bowling alley. If they're a spirit, but then again, you know what? There's a church right behind that. And as I've I will email you tomorrow about what we've gotten. Okay,
Land taken
up.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Being Native American is pretty much most of the land
Dude,
around here was taken.
There's a lot of native land around here.
Yeah, it was native land.
So, I mean,
all the way to the Piscataqua River Bridge, which is what my mix is, Piscataqua Micmac.
A lot of baked beans that Bigfoot stole.
I know what is big pots of baked beans that Bigfoot stole. Yeah. Sound like Tarzan yelling into a conch shell. Jesus. Stop it. You don't get me going.
Whatever you do, don't cook bacon in the woods.
Don't get me going, Ruptured Duck. I have been behaving myself.
He died in the elevator. Mom told me about it. If she can tell you too. Well, see, that's the funny thing. You guys have mentioned it briefly to me. You've talked to me about that.
Would he be the headless one that people have seen?
Maybe, yeah.
Lost his head in the elevator.
Yeah, because you know what? It's funny. It was in the Haunted Sanford video, the documentary, where they had watched it, and a few things came over the spirit box that resonated with them, and they had told me about it. Well, then Renee and I.
You love you some Bigfoot and beans, huh, Tom?
Yeah.
I don't know what's Bigfoot taste like. Bigfoot, your cousin? I've seen this guy, I believe it.
Really? An old curse on the land in the theater, huh?
I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? The farmland could have been taken from somebody else.
You know, maybe I could hit up the church behind there and see what the history is behind.
Has not been there.
No, they probably wouldn't know anything about that.
Fly by night cardboard churches.
All right.
It's been 7 different religions since it opened.
They have the water park every summer, and they got good burgers.
So
good burgers and hot dogs.
On it then.
No, they do like a
good
water
burgers.
Thing. Yeah.
God, I love you're so profound.
I've had them. I've been there twice because Renee wants to take the kids there every single year, and it was good. The burgers were good. They were
short version.
They're
of
only
that.
50 cents.
Pulled over Interstate 24 in Southern Illinois. As I got out and was walking around my trailer, I felt the hair on the back of my neck. Yeah, I no doubts.
You know, it's the crazy.
This
thing
ghost
about
is
that.
having a hard time over here.
Yeah,
torment.
Martha. Out, Mom.
They comfort.
Old times. Wow, it's really talking better than it was at my place.
Bama. That's an interesting. I'd like to hear the whole shebang on that one. All
yes,
the
most
details.
Definitely, Vanessa. I want to compare notes and all that stuff. Definitely,
yes, please, and you, Tom, everybody who has stuff, please. We want to hear from you. This is no fun to do to yourself.
I'm Ryan.
I'm sorry.
You know that.
Your
boy Chaos.
By yourself.
Jason. Dude, I'll exchange phone numbers with you guys. You're cool. We've been talking. It's all good.
I usually stay out of this kind of stuff because I get carried away.
You know what's funny, Tom?
It's Ruptured Duck's fault. I was doing all right till he said Bigfoot and beans.
Yeah.
That's why he smells.
That's why Duck does that stuff. He does that. He does. I don't know.
So who is the ghost that is talking on the? We don't know.
We've gotten
we
quite
got
a few
like
names.
7 names, Tom, and all women except for one.
Do you think that little boy followed?
Never mind. There's Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Color me a liar.
It's almost like there's like portals around here, stuff passing in and out.
Who plays games in elevators? Fell on his head and decapitated him. Okay. Yeah. He is the headless ghost.
Wasn't he mostly seen in the tunnels?
In the tunnel, yeah. At the bottom of the elevator. Because it's a service elevator.
Yeah.
It's not a ding.
Well, basically what it was is that if you go back to Haunted Sanford, there's a section in there where I have a picture of what the mills
We're in my home,
like.
Tom.
Yeah, we're at his house. Last week's was
like
at
the
mine.
pink kitchen? I painted it myself. I wanted puce, but I couldn't get it.
Puce is hard to find.
It's a shade less lavender and a bit more pink. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're talking Walmart.
Oh, sorry.
If you went to Sherman-Williams, you might have found it.
I didn't ask Sherman-Williams.
Oh, okay.
I didn't read the poster.
Puce.
Is that a heliotrope? Auntie Donna's old house.
Oh, dude.
Right?
Oh, God. That's what happens when you let my mom
you don't like the
fucking
foxpecker pink? That's my favorite color.
Yep. Yeah, that's what her bedroom was at one time.
The other one when I was only I-24 again, close to the exit.
Don't follow the voices.
Try not to. Just turned off my brights due to the cars in front of me. I saw something run out fast in front of me. All I saw was a bit of an eye.
Good.
to turn to its right, to look at you. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that's the only sound effect I have, so I use it liberally.
Shit right up my back.
Yeah, yeah.
All the way to the back of my neck.
That would have been a rough ride home for me. Yep. I try to play tough, but
believe me, right home with his son.
Yeah, for it's big. Clean
Yeah,
names,
no,
yeah.
it's not. It's fucking knock you right out.
I felt that he almost connected. I almost like.
Sorry, dude. He's like, scary for Santo curtain she put in the shower.
My mother had the shower curtain.
A Santo curtain.
But Santa during Christmas time.
Oh, Santa.
You don't remember my parents' house at Christmas? Oh, dude.
Remind me of someone.
Thanks. Rubs your ducks, hear no evil, see no evil, pee no evil.
Exactly.
I don't know. Monkeys,
dude. If you disturb them, so maybe that's a ghost you investigated before.
Yeah, that's exactly when it started, Tom.
Good
was from the cemetery in Lebanon.
You know, it's funny. Sorry. I'll pick it up.
You're not gonna pick up ashes with your pudgy little sausage fingers.
So she's told us family secrets. No. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. I gotta say this, okay? Because there actually is a ghostly thing in that. You remember being in my parents' house during that time. They're hiding here, but they told us that. Yep, cemetery is the key. Truth.
And we even made sure we did the prayer. We prayed our heinies off to make sure it didn't follow us home. What I should have brought with me was my white book of prayers with the open and close that I do before we do any kind of seance. I should have brought that, and I did not. You're right, Tom.
Yep.
I'm a ding dong.
So enjoyed the cast. Sleep beckons and all. All right, MV. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Loved having you here, and glad you were enjoying the stream. Thank you. Thank you.
Please come back. Loved your drop some acid comment.
It was good. Oh yeah, dude. Well, quick to add a little context to that.
What about a convent?
If any of you have ever heard of the Christmas tree shops, all right, you walk in there, it's a winter wonderland, man. They sell other stuff too. But my mother, her favorite holiday was Christmas. So if you've ever watched the show Grimm, okay, and you've seen what Monroe's house looks like at Christmas time, minus the train set, that's what my house looked like. You know what I mean? Like you would walk in there and you would expect to see price tags on stuff. It literally was like a Christmas tree shop. So many cool stuff. So here's the paranormal aspect of it. I didn't know about this until I'd said something to my mom, and then my mom had told me, yeah, that's always happened. So my mother had this angel. It was an old angel. It was a plastic angel. It was like from the bust up, and it was like this, and it had the wings and the halo. And you would turn it on, and the wings and halo would light up. It would play music. It was really cool. It was beautiful, beautiful old. Hey, you're welcome. It was a beautiful old piece, and pretty big too. And she used to, really took care of this thing. Well, it was her grandmother's angel. That stopped working a long time ago, to the point where it was never, ever plugged in. I didn't believe it until I saw it. Every Christmas Eve for years, my entire childhood living in that house, every single Christmas Eve, that thing would light up. It didn't work anymore, and it was never plugged in because it didn't work. Didn't want to have a fire, but it was there for the look, the aesthetic. And I'm going to tell you, dude, I remember getting up at like midnight, 1 a.m, and I'm walking into the bathroom, and this ding, 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 the light, I'd stop and I look, because the only thing she kept on Christmas Eve was the tree. That was the only light she kept on, and that was only on Christmas Eve. I'm glad that you are. But yeah, that was the thing. It was like, and I was just like, no, I went and peed, went back into bed. And that was the thing. Every year after that on Christmas Eve, because we used to have this massive party It was so much fun, dude. Everybody would go to church, and I get to the age where I wasn't going to church, so I'm there watching, and there's like 20 crock pots and everything. Like, we had this ginormous shindig every Christmas Eve at my parents' house. The food, my grandmother never drank, but all of her sisters used to get all completely toasted. It sang the Dark Herald. Mom wanted it, and she got one that looks just like it. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, I kid you not. I saw it with my own eyes every single year after that. Your living room, and you'll have to look at it. Yeah, I want to check it out. Talking about that angel that would light up that didn't work anymore, was never plugged in. And at midnight or 1 o'clock, every single Christmas Eve, it always did that. It would light up and play the music.
Yep, exactly.
And I watched every single year. I mean, because I was telling them my aunts would get wasted and they're all singing songs in the basement. It was just this amazing.
Which is not pretty, but.
No, but it was a lot of fun, dude. It was so funny. And everybody would come. It was just the vibe and the positivity was off the charts. It was so much fun. Oh, they were always blitz. Aunt Rita, God love her, bless her soul. My goodness, that woman, she was the funnest to be around. I miss her too. She's awesome.
Hammerstein right off their
Oh
asses.
yeah. It was always it was nothing to see Aunt Rita with a rum and coke in her hand.
Some of my favorite childhood memories is big titted aunts all drunk because they always want to hug you. And they always want to mash their faces.
His aunts. Not my aunts. His aunts.
I was adopted, so. Okay, Sarah.
That was the only time that I got to see you guys. And in the beginning, no, dude, we were always, got to see them, yeah, but you always saw us. You know what I mean? And there was that night in the
That's because you were a little kid. Nobody want to hang around with you.
God.
Come on.
She always had boogers and
everything. You're one of those ones that goes.
No, I love my aunts, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't that kind of aunt. You know what I'm saying?
No. I was adopted. None of them were blood.
Yeah. Still, he's joking.
Completely.
Anywho, what were we talking about? Oh, there's the angel. So yeah, that's the angel story. And dude, for years and years after that, when I was a little kid, I was probably, it wasn't actually that long, maybe a year or two after the whole spirit in the attic thing that I noticed that happening. And I would get up, I would look. And that's when I figured out that Santa Claus was my mom and dad because the presents were already at the tree. But that thing, like clockwork, after I saw that first time, always wake me up. I get out, look at it. It would turn itself off. I go back to bed. Santa came. You know what I mean? So rock and roll,
And with your mom's beard, I would have believed she was Santa.
Yeah, I know. She was a cool kid. She was. Definitely. She's still cool now. She's all right. I like her. She's okay. Read under the ruptured duck comment. Oh, Jesus. What did duck say now?
Jesus.
I have to go back up a little bit.
They went by so fast that time.
And 7 priest tanker truck full of holy water. Oh, we must have been talking about his brother. Yeah, he's told me the story. This is funny. Yeah. Let's try this. Boom. Does that work? There it is. Look, I got the technology.
Abandonment.
Nobody's getting abandoned. Man, I'll tell you, the spirits are throwing. Seriously, it's like a Dr. Phil session in here for the spirits. No disrespect, So.
Dogman stories, yeah.
Yep.
The Dogman, that's like the Native American version.
I just realized I could do that. I always wondered how you guys did that on the streams. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh no, I wrote. Oh God, okay, geez.
Come on, get your shit together.
I don't know. 0925. Boom. Here we go. Here through I-24, the history of Dogman encounters and Bigfoot 2 from what I found. Yeah. Yep. You know what's crazy is that I never really bought into the Dogman thing.
It's just another cryptid. But you know what it is? The Dogman and werewolf sightings are so popular.
Yeah.
Canids, they get their own category now.
Yeah.
Because they're so popular.
Yeah, and when you start looking into the history, dude, there's a history of these creatures. People have been seeing them since the Dark Ages.
This if you look, I can't remember the name of it, but there was a few articles where these people were believing that there are packs of them. especially in
Thomas wrote. Now that I can put that up there, kapow! There we go.
Oh no, we always say names, try to get them to say our names
Yeah.
and anything they know about us. We believe me, we harass them as much as they do us. I'm surprised they still talk to us.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing about that is a lot
Now,
of
hold
times.
on now. I was speaking to Bama.
Oh,
Let me finish, please. They think that they're in packs in like your Midwestern and
Really
places where in Russia especially believe it, because there's a lot of like near Chernobyl where there's a lot of those abandoned villages, but there's a lot of farm villages still out there. And these think that they're very skeptical about anybody new with cameras and whatnot that comes poking around. And they seem to think the connection is that that's where they are, hiding out in packs instead of singularly like people would think.
Yeah.
That's why they're so hard to find, protecting each other.
Makes sense. I mean,
I
not like they
haven't-
need
I
much
haven't
protecting. They're pretty
researched
big and
that
scary.
any further, but I planned on it because it just adds more
Yeah.
knowledge to what because werewolf stuff is, I've researched that so deep. It
Yeah.
goes so many different directions. Yeah, it is, Bumba. Look it up.
See what Emily wrote?
I did.
All right. So here's the funny thing about that. I don't remember. I don't know if I remember. That might have been at that point where I was working all the time and hanging down at the beach all the time.
Don't go down there. It's illegal.
Well, I'm going to go.
I think they're always about 10 minutes slow.
Yeah.
But you notice their comments are coming in
Yeah.
about what we're talking about, but 10 minutes slow. Like there's
Yeah.
a delay. Maybe they don't have a good carrier or something. I don't know. Oh, I bet they got Sprint.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. T-Mobile. Not so good.
The Palmyra. Maine dog
wolves.
man. There is a specific cryptid story that involves a bipedal wolf-like creature. See, I believe it because this is the same state, Gray, here in Sanford.
Yep.
I saw the same thing. It could be on hind pine. It walked on both.
That was
hind
true.
legs.
That actually happened. There
Yep.
were actually
I do
more than one.
remember.
There was one that walked on 2 legs, but there were others that walked on 4 that were big. You know what I mean?
That's
happened.
why the whole group thing kind of makes more sense, because they're harder to detect when there's more of them, because they can hide and group, look like families, look like villages, look like towns. You don't know.
I actually
I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but
yeah,
stranger shit has happened. Pardon my
Yeah.
French. I swore. Can we do that?
It's fine. I don't think there's a problem. We've been doing it since we started it, so I think we're okay.
You could see this being real.
We're almost 2 hours in.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe
Hi,
it.
Charles.
You went there. Make sure you definitely give us the scoop on that too, Tom. I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
If we can get the headphone thing working, I'd love to hear from you about it.
A stained glass one in the middle.
Yeah,
Church had
definitely.
A picture of a dog.
It lends credence to what I
was.
was saying, Tom. The group thing. You think so?
Well, I mean,
I tell you about a stained glass window in a Middle Ages church that had a picture of a dog-headed man in red robes. Dude, Latin scripture is covered.
And if you look at Egyptian lore, you've got the Anubis.
Egyptian too, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Definitely, Tom. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. I look forward to that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I'd like to see the location. I haven't been there, but I've seen footage. I don't care for footage that if I can't go myself. Maybe if we do end up there, if Tom's somewhere in between here and there, we can hook up and go there together. I mean, if we can, maybe we'll stay.
So, do you remember our little friend that we had in the apartment on Spruce Street?
Yes.
Yeah, the cat. Yeah. So, the wild thing was,
you know, guys, that cat would be sitting right here, right now. We'd think we seen it, but you wouldn't.
No. So the wild thing was that at the time, Jay was living with myself and my ex, and we had like a 3-bedroom apartment on Spruce Street here in town, which is ironically 2 streets down from where I live now.
Francis.
And hi, Francis. It was weird because we noticed there was something weird about the house, but we couldn't quite put our finger on it. And I actually had a cat at the time, Spooky. He was a big old, he wasn't a coon cat, but he was just a big old black and white tabby. And
hose beast.
Oh, he was, but he was so awesome. He was so cool. Well, I remember one night, him and I used to work at a place called what?
Oh, okay, cool. In middle of June, he'll be home. He's in Virginia right now.
Okay.
I have friends that are working in Virginia.
All right, sweet.
Trust me, I was a chem engineer for 35 years. I traveled all over the place.
So I remember him and I used to work at a place called Thompson Center Arms in Rochester, and we worked 5:30 in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the morning. So, we get home, it was in Rochester, we get home probably about 30, 35, sometimes 40 minutes after we get out of work. So this apartment that we had was on the top floor of a building. We had the whole top floor, and we also had the attic, which we had turned into like our Dungeons and Dragons room and our kind of party room. It was separated by a wall.
Nerds!
Yep, nerds! So every night we would go up into the D&D room, and we would have a smoke. And we'd be sitting up there, and you would feel something brush up against your leg, like Spooky was up there rubbing up against you, but you look down, there's nothing there. It was weird. I'm like, dude, I looked at him, I said, dude, do we have a ghost cat? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. So what happened was the next evening, forgiveness. The next evening was the last night of the week. It was Thursday, so we go. I had like a light at the top of the stairs with a blue light bulb. And I walk over and I open up the attic door and I flip the blue light bulb on and I look up and there's a cat sitting on the top step staring down at me, the silhouette of a cat. It was a big cat too, like sizes. I thought it was Spooky. I'm like, Spook, what are you doing up there? You get caught up there in the attic, buddy? And Jay's like, no, man, Spooky's right here. And I look down and he's literally right at my feet. I look back up and the cat's gone. So now that we've noticed the cat, we would hear it running around. It never came downstairs that we know of, but we always heard him running around upstairs. Spooky would hear him. Then we hear 2 cats running around upstairs. So in that D&D room, we had like several shelves that we had put up so people could put their books and their character sheets, their dice, their pens, papers, if they didn't want to take it home with them. They just wanted to leave it in the room. There was one shelf. Every time we put stuff on there, it would get thrown off. Literally happened, I'm not kidding, 6, 7, 8 times. So finally, we realized that must be where the cat sits. So we took it off. Not even Spooky would get up on that shelf. We got him his own shelf that he could lay on. And we had a little cat bed, like a little something, like a little piece of fabric we put up there, like for his bed, a little like foam or something like that. And we put that up on the other cats, the ghost cats shelf. And that never got thrown off. And there was a few times we even saw impressions of a big old pudgy cat that had been laying there.
All is well.
Yes, it is. So probably last summer, it was fall. Myself, Henry, both Noahs and Oakley were taking a night walk. And we started walking down Spruce Street, and Bubby turns to me and says, hey, can you tell me about the ghost cat again? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we're going over the story and all the stuff. Like this guy that we mentioned earlier, John, that's exactly how he sounded when he talked. But we were having a Halloween party, and it was the last Halloween party that we had because we had always had them. And everybody's upstairs. We got lights up. There's music playing. Everybody's drinking, having a good time. So John always made fun of us because he didn't believe our ghost cat. He thought we were putting him on. Well, he's sitting there in a beanbag. He's drinking his beer. And then you remember when John left because he never believed us about the cat?
John?
Yeah, until the ghost cat rubs up against him and he looks down and he goes, all we heard was, nope.
Yeah.
And we hear, boom, boom, boom. And we hear his motorcycle start up and he takes off. Well, anyway,
you can smell it all the way down the stairs. That boy shit. He was scared.
Yeah, he believed us then. He didn't want to talk about it anymore after that.
Please don't stop.
Oh, we're not going to stop. But anyway, fall last
worked
year.
for the U.S. Navy as a civilian, so I travel everywhere. Sometimes things at the sea. So we don't.
That'd be cool.
I used to.
Yep, we're down
I used
for
to
that.
work for the government doing weapons, declassified now, so I can say that. And I hear you.
Was that General Dynamics?
No, that was Saku Defense.
Okay. It's General Dynamics now, right?
No, it's Merrimont.
Oh, it's Merrimont now. It was General Dynamics.
Merrimont,
once, right?
SIG, they're all
okay.
Desert Eagle, all one big company. Well, they
So-
were, but they changed so fast.
Before it got too cold.
Communications officer.
Oh,
nice. Nah, I just do chemicals. You got me beat.
Well, thank you.
I can
Thank
do
you
some
for your
wonderful
service, my
things
friend. I
with-
appreciate
in
you.
the household chemical aisle at Walmart, though. Just joking.
So anyway, to finish my story, me and the boys were walking down Spruce. No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Me and the boys were walking down Spruce, and just for the hell of it, I decided I had my big flashlight with me. I turned on my flashlight, my spotlight, and I put it up right to those windows. There was a friggin' silhouette of a cat right there, and just kind of like it was looking down at us. And then it turned as it turned to jump off the windowsill, it just vanished.
No comment.
Just vanished. So that
no
was
idea what you're talking about, Tom. I'm pleading the fifth.
Talking about what?
No, we were talking about. I said I can do wonderful things with household chemicals.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who?
I don't know.
What chemicals?
Chemicals.
Both, Tom. Both.
You remember Spooky? Maybe. I mean, you might have. I don't know if you were. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. If you'd ever been to the house or not. Some family had shown up every once in a while, but they thought I was living a life of debauchery when really I wasn't. I just played D&D and went to work.
Yep, that's all we had time for. Oh, hello, Erica.
It was Barbara's fault anyway. It's all right. So, man, we've been on for 2 hours and 7 minutes. We got anything else for tonight?
Yeah, Auntie Barbie lived there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else going? No, not that I'm aware of.
Wow.
Yeah, Tom, I can do things illegal and legal with chemicals. Yes. Knowledge of chemicals, you'd know that. Just like you know your way around communications, which nowadays comes in more handy than mine.
We go both paranormal. We did that. Has anything followed back? We got that. Scariest experience. Did that. Cryptid during investigation. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look, this us. Let's see. Have you ever came across any little people? Faye.
Oh, yeah, we discussed that because we said,
Yeah.
I said there's many videos out there that are grainy, old, just house cam ones. So you know they're not tampered with because they don't have that.
Yeah.
If you tamper with them, you'd know.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
they're no way to tamper with their junk.
plus last week I told the stream that I had that. No, Renee's not really missing me. Not really. But I talked about them taking my
skill
earbuds.
set, Tom. Yeah, your skill set is admirable, and my skill set, depending on the situation, I guess.
Oh, you know, that's funny that you meant if a dog can sense a cryptid, do you think they can sense a spirit or a ghost? Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And
Dogs and cats are good to have around because cats, if you believe that, help you get rid of or keep them at bay if they're strong ones, but not always. Don't get too carried away with the cat thing. Dogs, on the other hand, will watch them. Walk right by.
You know, the funny thing about
Cats
that
too.
is a week after it was actually, as a matter of fact, we had Yarrow for about a week, and I was at work, but Renee had told me that
name your dog after a root.
Well, they named him, and you know, because of the what the root's all about, we ended up keeping the name. The name was cool. I like it.
Right on.
You know, I wanted to name him Achilles.
Bear sees the spirits. He listens to them and moves his head side to side. Yeah, they literally, dogs will watch them. If they have no threat, the dog won't be threatened or scared.
It just kind of freaked. It just kind of
love my cat. Oh,
yeah.
for sure. if they are not malevolent,
right,
Doc, the cats won't have no problem with them.
Yeah,
But
I
if
mean,
they're malevolent spirits, they will not like the cats.
yeah, Yarrow saw something in the house that Renee had told me while it was at work that she was playing with him in the kitchen, and he looked at into a certain corner of the house that was like up and behind her, and he started barking and backing up towards the door like he wanted to get out.
Coming down the stairs here, and the light comes on. Ronaldo hangs over the gate, both paws curled right up, and stares out here into the dark at nothing that I can see anyway.
Yeah. That's, I mean, it's wild when they do that. Yarrow does that every once in a while. He just doesn't bark now.
So have you guys ever thought about doing like a haunted walk or tour type thing? Yes, and we want to do a Halloween tour through Salem.
Ooh.
Because one of the on our team, Sandra, is related to the Putnams by blood. If anybody's familiar with Salem, look up the Putnams.
Yeah.
They pretty much helped start the witch trial. Baloney. So we don't know how. We're interested to see how they'll react if we tell the spirits that she's related to the Putnams.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, not that we want to throw her to the wolves or anything, but we can run pretty fast. Should we have to?
Dude, she runs really fast.
Yeah,
man. You know what I mean.
They won't catch her.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as that goes, I'm gonna need to buy more batteries for my cameras, so that way I wouldn't have time, so I can just keep popping batteries in and film the whole thing. So, well, that's right. She has a cat named Salem. He's a really cool cat. He is.
She watches Sabrina too much.
Probably.
No,
I like the new series. The new series was really good.
It was good,
Yeah.
but they ended it too quick.
Yeah, they did.
Just like Salem.
Netflix's fault.
Yeah, you mean the Sabrina the Teenage Witch one or Salem?
The Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
No, Salem, the series Salem.
Is that what it was called? Salem?
That was good.
Oh.
Yeah. With
they did a remake of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
They
I
did
think
that
it was
when
called Sabrina or
Well,
something.
you're
like that.
from Haunted Sanford Tour would be cool. You basically just did the video. Yeah, but it's hard to get into a lot of the places that would be really cool. If we can set it up and we can get into the mills, oh my God, that's going to be a bonanza.
And the problem with that is that the mills aren't locally owned
now
anymore.
turned it
They're
into a
owned
tour. Well,
by
we're going to
someone
be
else.
doing one of the Tilton Hotel in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Very soon too, an overnight. And that should be interesting because that one's supposed to be pretty haunted.
I think at this point, we have to just keep making videos and going to places that we can go to,
And
so
then
that way
piece
we
it-
can get a little more notoriety. People know who we are.
If we can get a tour
you know,
of
and then
some
go from there.
inside places, like as a funeral home, we'd like to get into because that one, just the outside of it, is
They haven't called me back.
haunted as shit. Pardon my French.
Well, we did. The funny thing about that is I mentioned Randonautica earlier, and one night myself and Renee
Because
and
then we'd have
Oakley-
to hire tour guides because nobody wants to watch us walk around and give a tour.
love it.
Won't allow the malevolent spooks in the house. Not anymore. Not since the knockdown, drag out brawl on my first floor. Hey, if they're protecting you, you're all set.
I don't blame you. I don't necessarily want to go to a funeral home myself, but
Yeah,
I
right.
will.
You know what I'm scared of, Thomas, is getting Sandra, my fiance, is Chinese. So, I'm afraid that we're going to get one of her relatives or something sometime, and we'll be doing like a grudge type investigation of a house where her perverted Uncle Tochi died or something. And
All I'm going to say
you'll
is
be
if somebody
then all of a
comes
sudden,
crawling out the TV, I'm done.
all of a sudden you feel a hand on your shoulder and you hear secret finger jutsu.
Oh,
that's all that's what scares me.
I hate the smells. You know what's funny? My very first job was a funeral home, so I can relate.
Yeah, what, you don't like acetylsalicylic acid and formaldehyde? All it is aspirin and water.
It's something you got to get used to, and it's hard to get used to. It takes
aspirin,
a while.
regular old aspirin crushed up in water is a better preservative than formaldehyde because it keeps the nerve endings alive and fresh.
Oh, that's
instead
great.
of dying. If you preserved a cut off limb instead of in ice and aspirin and water on the way to the hospital, they'd have so much easier a time.
Really?
Chemical engineers.
Why don't we know this?
Because doctors obviously don't remember, or they don't want to remember.
Right.
Dude, half the medicines that they give you are just scrapings of. I have a dermatology book, how to make all the old remedies, Indian style and otherwise, out of plants, herbs. There's one for every ailment that exists.
Wow.
And they take a little of that and make a pill that semi works.
Yeah.
When they can
Well,
just
see,
give you
that's why I don't take any of the type 2 medication.
I'm running out of that
anymore
secret
they
move
prescribe me.
comes out. Yeah, you don't want that secret move.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Make the urge to order takeout. Ooh. Not when I'm in a funeral home.
Oh God, no.
Do you ever in the movies? You ever notice all the guys in the doing the forensic shit and the autopsies are always eating? I'm not gonna gnaw on a ham sandwich while I got some chick's body cavity open in front of me.
Well, if that's what you do every day, I imagine you get blind to it like everything else. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. If I'm having a liverwurst sandwich, I don't want to be looking at someone's liver.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Is
Anyway,
it look fresh to you? You know?
Yeah, it's good. I tried to hurt, and he gave me the
stuck my finger in.
You remember, the mini golf place, that little cemetery that was in the woods right next to the mini golf place down the road? Yeah. You notice that the owner of that mini golf place has cleared that whole area out.
Yeah, dude, I work right next to it.
All right.
I noticed.
Well, have you noticed?
I know, yeah. On the way to work.
The cemetery right next to it that was in that area, they took the stones and laid them down on the ground. I'd kind of like to go back.
Not me.
And check that out, but then again, I don't want to because those guys will be like,
with the stones.
First person that comes in, I'm going to smack them, and I don't want to be that first person.
I was in India a long time ago, and their beers were made with formaldehyde. Yeah.
There's a liquor.
Our old soldiers drank that shit during the Korean War.
There's a liquor called soju from Korea that is made with formaldehyde.
Our soldiers drank it.
That
Watch
stuff
MASH.
is strong.
They had it in their little camp bar. They had that formaldehyde beer.
Yeah, Em said she went to school for forensic. That's a nasty smell. Yeah, it's something you never forget.
Just like in the movies, all the way they get rid of bodies, you always see them using hydrochloric acid.
It's crazy.
That's not going to do anything. You need boric, hydrofluoric, then sulfuric.
Right.
Mix those together, nothing left but the teeth.
Crazy. It was nasty, but we drank it. That's because that's what you do. Yes, sir. Yeah. I drank the soju.
Of course you drink it.
I woke up on the hood of a Bronco with my pants down around
You're
my
lucky to have anything to drink.
Don't know what happened
right?
after.
My daughter married an Indian from India. So, he's a very nice fellow.
Yeah. How you doing today?
Oh, very good. How you doing, buddy?
That's good. Thank you very much. I am so deep and deep.
Free Willy.
My Willie.
I am standing here beside myself.
Yeah, I don't.
I am thinking shares are working.
I just know that you don't stock the shelves. I tell you, replace the milk. You just leave the milk in there.
You can push it back. You push it back.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, once it goes bad, you sell it with cottage cheese.
Oh, man.
You sell it as a yeast infection cure.
Damn. You know what's funny is that these wonderful folks have. I'm getting the urge for a Slurpee. Ooh.
Oh, right.
It's nice. Hope it's blue raspberry.
Yeah. I don't think that's the Slurpee he's talking about. You're one of those goat milk yogurt ones.
Oh, God. Finish my cigarette now. Ooh.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Mama.
These kind folks have been with us since the start. It's 12:37 now. We've been going pretty good, man.
I know, right?
Definitely.
You're like one of them Slurpees you have to chew, huh, Mama?
Oh. I just hope it's eggs.
I think I got a fish egg in mine.
Ooh. Nemo. Yeah.
Hey, if anybody wants to come to eat, I found this cookbook, right? The first 3 recipes in it were cricket meatballs, testicle ragu, and Nashville hot brain sandwiches. So y'all come on by, have a little snack.
And we'll have chowder.
After that, the chowder just wouldn't settle.
12-inch Slurpee for Bama.
A 12.
Yeah, he could take it.
Damn.
Yeah.
All 12?
He's a champ. Yep.
Savage.
Yeah. Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. That's the sound I would make. I'd be a fucking conehead after that.
You'd definitely be standing there beside yourself. Holy shit.
I would be retching beside myself.
Yeah, I left my body. Ooh, that's rough. So what do you say?
You don't know that, Chaos.
You don't know that, Cap. I've seen pictures. He's got nice shirts.
I didn't see these pictures. Oh, the nice shirts.
He's
I
got a
didn't
nice
see
shirt.
those.
I like that.
I'd like to see the shirt, but
It
I'm
says
okay
it's a
with the
horrible
slip.
idea. What time?
Oh. I like nice shirts.
They're awesome.
I'm a Mark Anthony fan myself.
Oh,
no, he makes some nice shirts.
Yeah, it does.
The
Yeah.
patterns are a little queer on some of them, but I do like the fit. I meant queer as in weird, not before I get the bullet thing again.
I wonder how I can make. I'm trying to look to see. I'm looking at my dash panel.
Looking at
Yeah.
Spit it out, Porky.
I know, right? Yeah. That's not nice.
Oh no, that wasn't a fat joke.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
You know,
I'm not
Porky
really fat
Pig. You
anymore.
know.
Yeah.
You're not fat anymore?
Right up.
What's the word you use now? Husky.
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 A Husker man.
I am the machine.
I'm a Husker man. Banner. I don't want a banner. I just want to know where.
Did you lose all the people?
No, I didn't. They're right up there. I just wanted to. I don't know how to make. Let's go back up here. Let me try something. Let's see. Star. No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, hold on. Let's go here. That's Bama, right? No, it's. Let's see. Come you put user in timeout, man. No, that doesn't do that either. I don't know how to make. I don't know how to make. Oh, there's the referral link. Sweet.
There you go.
Nice. You can put that right in the chat. Nice. I didn't know. I know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to make moderators.
Oh.
That's how. What does that do? New layout. Edit layout. Yeah, I'll have to look at the instructions. Yep. Yep. So I don't know how to do that yet, but if anybody I'll have to ask Bass and Truth. That's what I'll have to do. They know how to do this stuff and they're good at it. He learned something. Yeah, I did learn. Now I can put the link in to the chat. That's awesome. I don't have any headphones to do that right now, but we can do that. So present. Oh, that's present to settings. So okay, I'm not gonna mess with that until after the fact. Oh my God, Jeff thinks that we look like siblings. Apparently, I have him. You might. I mean, I'm related to you, so good possibility. Thanks, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, rock and roll. Man, you know what? It's been an awesome stream. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 22 minutes. I'm glad that you like Jay, and I kind of thought that we would have a lot of fun. Truth be told, I thought we were going to get down to some debauchery stories, but it never really went that far, man. See, that's why this guy having him along is just awesome, because the fact that he knows so much, and he knows so much more than I do about certain things is totally awesome. So that's good times. We have good times. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it quits tonight. Good night, everybody. I love the hell out of each and every single one of you, even though you guys were sandbagging. Come say goodnight to the folks, my friend.
Yeah, just checking on her. She just had cancer surgery, so.
But she is totally healthy, though.
Oh, God, yeah, doing well. Nice meeting you all. Thanks for putting up with me. I'm usually the field agent because
But he's going to be doing this a lot more now. So be it on here with me.
Somebody forgot to tell us something.
Oh yeah, that her boyfriend thinks that her and I have the same eyes. So, but all right, awesome. Thank you, Thomas.
Everyone,
email me.
Whoever had anything to share, or we're gonna get together sometimes near you.
Yep.
Let us know.
We're gonna cook some burgers and dogs. I'm gonna be totally lazy and play Final Fantasy.
No, not a 3-day weekend. I gotta work.
No. Yeah, that sucks.
But hey, if you have it off, enjoy, everyone.
I might go
with
out
your
and do
family.
some stuff. I don't know.
Enjoy your families and all the time you got.
Yep. Especially those of you who served. 100% appreciate it.
Always.
So, 100%. So I will say, I love you guys. Good night. Godspeed.
Night, Duck.
Via con Dias. And
You
we will
crazy
see
duck,
you
you.
guys later.
You
the next
crazy
time.
waterfowl.
Have a good night, Nocturnals.